sometimes like all you want to do is run. Hear me out, hear me out. It's all the things you never show. There are the things I want you to know. Secrets start in your heart to slow. But if you don't want to tell me now, I guess I'll never know. Losing almost all my energy. It's getting hard to talk to you, and I'm the only one who speaks. It's all the things you never show. There are the things I want to know. Secrets start in your heart to slow. But if you don't want to tell me now, I guess I'll never know.
Okay, guys, it's Friday. It's Friday. Happy Friday, guys. Of course, this is a very sad case we're going to talk about. I know everyone and their dog has been covering this case today and stuff like that. And honestly, when I seen the docket put up Meline Soto the other day, for some reason in my head, I was thinking that this was like a case like last year for some reason. I remembered the name, but then I realized it was literally just on Monday.
Sonny, were you thinking of? Hey, everyone, by the way, Sonny, were you thinking of Meline Soto?
Yes,
Yes.
that's why. Okay, because the Soto name seems so familiar.
Yeah.
You know.
And Meline Soto, for anyone that doesn't remember, was the 9-month or 10-month pregnant
Yes.
young lady in Texas that was found with deceased with her boyfriend.
Yeah, that's why I knew that name sounded so familiar. Because once I realized that it was just on February 26th, I was like, "Whoa, wait a second!" Like, I don't know about you guys, but are you guys not having like freaking Audrey Cunningham vibes too? Like with this one, like the whole backpack and going to school, and not going to school type thing. Anyways, welcome you guys all to the live tonight. Again, sad case, but let's do some quick hellos first before we get started. And thanks to Charmaine for joining us as well with me and Aspen tonight. Charmaine's going to be like, okay, like you don't even need to say that. People know who I am by now. I'm always on. Right, Charmaine. Anyways, let's say some hellos. So, hey, True Crime Housewife. Gail Hurd's in the house. Hey, Ben, how are you? Let's see here. I already said that one. Let's go down. Miranda's in the house. Little Gambler's in the house. Let's see here. Diana S. I just want to quickly say to you, I'm not so against blaming Alec Baldwin now. Just FYI on that one. And that's to do with, of course, the Rust trial. And let's see, Little Gambler's in the house. Hey, Teen, how are you? Oh, Rochelle, the psychic sleuth. Absolutely. Love Rochelle. She's
Hey,
great.
Sonny, who's that avatar?
All right. The Tasmanian devil. That's right. All right. Okay. That's kind of like an inside joke today because I'm pretty sure that Charmaine's like, where the F is Sunny? Like in our group chat, like mine and Adam's and Charmaine's group chat. And then I'm reading it. They're basically going, well, maybe she should stay missing. Actually, what did you say exactly, Adam? Because it was funny as frick.
I said, oh, well, I mean, we would do anything to find her because we adore and cherish her so much that we would never want anything bad to happen to her. And we couldn't even bear for a moment the idea of Sunny missing.
Yeah.
There may have been talk about getting our views up because I suggested we go live and try to find Sunny because she was legitimately missing this morning.
And then something about the Tasmanian devil. Um,
And then I said, well, who are we kidding? If somebody tried to grab her, she'd be like the Tasmanian devil, and her and husband are probably busy just hiding the body right now. So we thought we'd give her some time before we jumped on live to look for her. Sure enough, here she is.
that, yeah. So I wasn't really, well, I was missing in a sense because I was sleeping most of it. I remember looking at the clock this morning because I went to bed about 3 a.m., 3:30 or something like that. Husband gets up at like, alarm goes off at 4:10. As soon as he left, I was like, oh, back out. Don't remember anything. Didn't hear Ryan in the living room building his computer chair. Didn't hear nothing. Woke up, it was exactly 9:11 my time, and I'm in Vancouver, Canada, guys. As 9:11, I looked at the clock and I said, frick this. I'm just gonna sleep. I'm just gonna sleep. Because the day before I exerted myself, I had cleaned out the entire fridge, from top to bottom. Totally forgot about the freezer part, by the way. But whatever. Anyways, the fridge looks like brand spanking new. Husband had cleaned out the pantry. We ended up going to Costco to go get some groceries. Costco is a trip in itself. Anyways, it was exhausting.
And with Gail, I would like to say thank you to Gail because I popped into the mob live stream today, and Gail did me a membership.
Say that you popped into where?
The mob crew. What's his name? Chris?
Oh, I don't watch him. Yeah, you talking about Monsters Under the Bed?
Maybe it's the mob.
Yeah, that's what it stands
You
for.
used to watch him, and then he kind of went a little bit.
I've never watched him.
I think his name was Chris. Yeah.
Yeah, I've watched him like one time.
Yeah. Diana, I love Costco too.
No.
Oh, me too. I'm addicted.
Oh, no, you want to put everything in your cart because
Isn't that the point?
well, to them, not to a budget. No, I literally ended up going, well, I don't really need you. Plunk.
Well, the only thing I love with Costco is when you're like, okay, well, I need this, but do I need 750 of them?
Yes, I do. Of everything they have there, I do.
That's the thing. If I had to redo Costco, I would have totally have went to M&M Meats and rather have done that and then gone to like No Frills or Walmart or something, because it's like like two of everything, like the bags of chips, right? Like $8 for the big bag.
You're gonna eat it. You're gonna eat it.
Yeah,
You save a ton of money.
Well, I'll tell you what. Well, the husband and my brother-in-law Ryan went to go unload the groceries. I was like, I ain't leaving till I get us a hot dog. So they went and unloaded, and I got like each of us a hot dog there because they're like $1.50. And then I got one drink just because I was thirsty because it was just more about eating. Lady gave me 3 cups, right? So I'm like, I was just about to say to her, oh no, it's just one drink. And then I was like, you know what? Forget it. Like it costs like pennies for a freaking fountain pop, which usually takes like shit half the time. Anyways, I took those 3 cups because she gave them to me. And I was like sticking the hot dogs in my pocket. And I'm walking with 3 drinks, right? Okay, this is what, so I'm diabetic. Yeah. Funny story. So I'm walking with 3 pops. I get 2 Mountain Dews for them each. And then I get myself a Diet Coke. So I'm walking, I'm struggling. My pants are kind of falling down as I'm walking. And I'm like, shit, right? So I'm adjusting and I'm squeezing the drinks to my chest. So all of a sudden, Ryan, he goes, I'll take this one, thank you, which was my Diet Pepsi. And he goes, I saw the way that you were hugging those other pops close to your breasts. That's why I'll take this one. And I'm like, fine, you know what? Fuck the diabetic shit. I'll drink them out on there. But it was just a fact of like, how else was I supposed to carry 3? My pants are falling down. Like my husband's like, why do you wear pants that are too big for you? I'm like, they're not. They're not when they're washed, and they're just yoga pants. But because these ones must be a bigger size, anyways, I'm struggling. So they're sliding down. So I have to keep constantly grabbing them as I'm walking. Anyways, the struggle was real, folks. Had Mountain Dew. But anyways, yeah. So all I can say is Costco, yeah, it's great in certain ways, but it's freaking hell of a lot of people. Yeah.
I'm going to contact that Costco so I can get video footage of you walking out with 3 hot dogs.
And your pants falling down.
Around what time? Around what time were you there yesterday, Sunny?
Well, it was like, yeah, about 4 o'clock. Yeah, I think it was about 4. Because I remember going, well, like when we were talking about it, I said, husband, I like to adventure and do stuff, right? I'm like that spontaneous person that goes, you know what, husband? Why don't we go to Costco? What a brilliant idea. I'm thinking to myself, like, I haven't been there in years, right? My twin sister worked there for 25 years. But anyways, so I was like, yeah, and I'm looking up the membership thing. It's like $60 for a membership and you can stick someone on it as well, type of thing. And I'm like, yeah, like I remember that you could buy like 12 muffins for like $6.90. Like it used to be actually $4.99 for 6 muffins. Now you get 6 muffins for $9.99, same size. But anyway, so I'm remembering like the meat is, a good value pack and stuff like that. Anyways, dangerous place to go to, especially when you're hungry.
But they've got good stuff. Like
do.
rarely do I buy something at Costco I don't like. Like so, like if they have like salsa, I usually like the salsa they have.
I just got salsa yesterday. Not gonna lie, but it's kind of like everything is pretty much $16.99 or $20 for the most part. Everything, you look up at the price; it's about the same. When I seen the peppers, though, I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, wait, you charge way more than Safeway or anybody else for these peppers. They were charging $9.99, and typically you can buy the peppers for like $6.99 or $7.99. Even at the local little market over here, the fruit and veggie market, you could, decent prices and that. But honestly, I want to say something just quickly about that. So I happened to be watching this Canadian documentary the other day, you guys, about the food rise. Because I'm not going to lie, food prices make me rage nowadays. I literally hate shopping because I want to kick every freaking person around when I'm sitting there looking at these prices. Seriously, I literally get enraged by how much they've gone up since COVID. And it's really ridiculous. And the CEOs are all sitting there like, well, that's not true. We try to give our consumers shut the F in front door because honestly, try living up, Charmaine, when they were showing up in the Northwest Territories in those smaller towns and they have this grocery store called Northern. I'm no word of a shit and lie. A case of water, $36. One orange,
It's
$7.
price. It's
Well,
price gouging though.
And when you're in when you're up in those northern territories where they don't get the shipments as often.
Gouge.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's same with Alaska.
And it's illegal now. It's illegal now.
Alaska's really. I mean, there are places in Alaska where it's incredibly expensive for food.
Well,
probably no different than the upper peninsulas of Canada.
Well, the thing is that Canada gives a budget. They literally give a budget to subsidize that, like the northern, like the grocery stores, so that they can take that cost away from the consumer. This lady that was actually on that documentary, that lady that was on the documentary that worked at Northern, she actually said she left because she was so pissed off because she was taking pictures of the pricing and how they're claiming, because basically, she was that person that went to the head office and said, like, look, why are we charging this much? Like when you see $16 for a can of soup, one can of soup, right? And I'm looking at basic thing, like for a couple pieces of chicken was like $64.
Oh yeah.
It was ridiculous. But the thing is that they're sitting there claiming that they don't profit. They literally did $692 million, right? And most of that is all profit. That was their profit. And yet 3 years ago, they were at 392 million. So you can't tell, like when it was like pre-COVID. But the thing is that I've noticed this, so I was so mad. So when I seen that documentary, I watched every lick and stink of it, and it makes me want to vomit, gag, puke whenever I see these CEOs from like the big conglomerates of the world, like Sobeys and all these ones. No, we try to pass on the best dollar to the consumer, and we're always looking for ways to make you shut the front door. You freaking ass liars! You're trying to sell your bullshit to those Eskimos up there, and it ain't gonna happen. And it's just.
Do they what was the name of that store, and do they offer franchise opportunities?
Yes, my husband, Northern, it's called Northern. My husband just said, he goes, F this. I'm gonna go call something Steve's Snacks or Steve's Farmers Market, and I'm gonna be the only person selling stuff up there for half the price of what they're selling it for, he said. Because that's exactly what he said, Adam. He goes, how do I get my cut there? He goes, you can just drive there, right? And I'm like, well, I think you gotta fly a plane in really and ship it. Anyways, all I know is when it comes to groceries and stuff like that, oh, do you want to get me started? Just talk about those grocery prices because they have gotten so darn greedy.
I'll tell you, it is cheaper for me to eat out by myself. It's cheaper for me to do that than to go to the grocery store. But in Alberta, I'm pretty sure anywhere in Canada, but we have what's called the Northern Living Allowance. So we have a bigger tax break, I guess. I myself live 76 kilometers too far south to qualify for it. But I know people that live like in Valley View and North.
Yeah.
They get some kind of a tax break because they live, but our grocery prices are astronomical.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you that you want to see crazy. Like I get it. The thing is that they're trying to make it sound like they get a subsidy, right? For like the Northern and those, because Northern is like a, it's like a Microsoft, right? Like they keep going to all those little small towns where it's only them and they can gouge people, whatever they want. Granted, the thing is they get a subsidy and they're finding that they're only giving back 67% or 67 cents on the dollar back to the consumer. But of course, like typical bullshit people are like,
make
stuff
money.
in their pockets. Right. But the thing is that it's not their money to make. It's subsidy money from the government. Okay. That's the difference, right? But anyways, it just pisses me to no end when you literally watch these CEOs with their like freaking $1 billion pocketbooks trying to act like they're doing us a favor. Go F yourself, you greedy SOBs. Anyways, that's enough of that.
I know. Okay. Sorry, everyone.
Yeah. Anyways, so now let's go to the case that we're talking about here, which is Meline Soto. So
if you do hear like my cat's being insane, so if you hear something running around, Beatrice decided she's gonna play for the first time in 16 hours.
Oh, all good.
You know how they get.
I know. Yeah. I was thinking about when you said that, I was thinking about Montana, and Steve's like, what are you doing? And Montana like bolts right into Ryan's room. Like, it's like you hear this like a horse galloping. And all of a sudden she comes back, jumps on the chair and goes in panic mode and, type of thing. And Montana's like a very tame cat, or when she wants to have her playtime, it's like, and then you got Bambi out there just meows. And then all of a sudden I'll look for Bambi, and then all of a sudden it's like, Bambi, what are you doing in the bathroom? Oh,
that's an awesome background, Aspen. That's good.
Which one?
The cat shadow. That's good.
Yeah, she
the cat shadow.
Just darting back and forth in the background. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. So did you guys we're going to watch this video clip. We'll watch a couple, talk about it. I'll show you a few things. Thanks to Charmaine and Adam, relentlessly talking about this case in our group chat and stuff like this. And, we're posting things and whatever. But anyways, should we watch this first, guys? And then, and then kind of talk about it.
I think for the majority, most people know the background of the case, and I can't remember, but this one might have some background.
Well, yeah, this is for the 3-minute one, this one here. Well, let's just listen to it. It's 3 minutes, guys. I gotta take it off on mute.
Suspect.
Bring her home if you find her. Tell her that we love her.
That man, the boyfriend of the young girl's mother, and tonight he's behind bars accused of sexual battery. And deputies continue the search for this missing 13-year-old girl. Meline Soto was last seen on Monday. Good evening. I'm Christopher Heath.
I'm Darlene Jones. Deputies arrested her mother's boyfriend, who you see here, 37-year-old Stephen Stearns, yesterday for battery and possession of child abuse material. We have live team coverage on this major story tonight. Channel 9's Ashlyn Webb has been digging through the documents related to his arrest. Ashlyn is live outside of the Orange County Jail, where he's now being held. And Ashlyn, you learned from investigators that it was his cell phone that led to this arrest.
Yeah, and the big red flag here is that law enforcement say Stephen Stearns actually did a factory reset on his phone the day Madeline disappeared. Now, investigators were able to get crucial evidence off that phone that led to his arrest. Today, we did a deep dive into his background and also how long he and Meline Soto's mother have been in a relationship, sorting through records and also speaking to his family and her family. This is what we know.
It's a living nightmare. Day started off like any other.
Just a day before Stephen Stearns was arrested for assault, battery and possession of child abuse material, he spoke to Channel 9, crying and pleading for help to find Madeline. He said he was the last person to see her, dropping her off at a church down the street from school. Now, law enforcement is investigating what role he had in Madeline's disappearance and saying there were red flags while interviewing the family. According to the arrest affidavit, family and friends said it was unusual for Madeline to be dropped off down the street. When investigators interviewed Stearns, they asked to look at his phone, but he stated he accidentally performed a factory reset on the phone the day Madeline disappeared. Law enforcement was able to recover several photos and videos showing Stephen battering a child. We spoke by phone to Stearns' father, Christopher Stearns, who said he was shocked by these developments. We went to speak to Jennifer Soto's mother today. She was not at home, but we spoke by Ring doorbell camera. She said Stephen Stearns and Jennifer Soto have been in a relationship for several years, adding that she is extremely worried about Madeline's safety, particularly after hearing what authorities found on Stephen Stearns' phone. As for a criminal history, Stearns is not a registered sex offender. In fact, this is the first time he's been booked in the Orange County Jail. We found no criminal history. The Orange County Sheriff's Office did confirm they were in Northport yesterday. Now, that is where Stephen Stearns' family lives. We also spoke to Northport police that said that it was specifically for this investigation. Reporting in Orange County, Ashlyn Webb, Channel 9.
Second here. So let's go. Let me just go put that back on that pathetic piece of shit. Let me just find.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Gail.
Oops. Oh, Gail, sorry, my bad. Sorry, Gail, because I put the thing up. Thank you earlier for that $10 super sticker. Anyways, happy March 1st, by the way, everyone. The leap year is this year, and it was the 29th yesterday, and today's the 1st of March.
Who got that one, Sonny?
Yeah. Oh, rush me. I get it. Let's see. You know what, Adam? I think I would have forgotten had you not said that. Let me let the chat catch up in the thing. That was Todd. Todd was gifted that membership. Thank you, Gail, for doing that. Yes, thank you, Adam, for reminding me of that, because I literally would have forgotten on there. Thank you, Gail. Okay. Who wants to start?
Are you going to show the affidavit?
No, I'm not going to show the affidavit. I decided I was not going to.
Okay.
It's one of those things that it's too inappropriate to me for YouTube. And I think it's really disgusting and sick. You guys can just seriously Google that, the affidavit,
Right.
Affidavit for Meline Soto or Stephen Stearns, and you guys can read that yourself. But we can talk about it in the most easy, respectful way. Yeah.
I feel like, I think the most
Yes, I do.
because for the affidavit, for anyone that wants to read it or hasn't read it, it's incredibly disturbing, and it's redacted. So I don't know what parts of it. I mean,
The
they
name
left out.
is the only thing, and then the second page.
Yeah.
But I mean, it describes graphically some of the things that they found on the phone, specifically relating to Madeline herself. And things that they found on the phone that involved the perpetrator and Madeline together, which makes them know that a crime was committed.
And she was being abused for a period of time, and there's a lot of chatter out there saying that
Yes, they
There
have
was a
found her.
snuff film on his phone, and that's not what I got from it. I got very long-standing CA happening.
Right.
Essay?
Yes, they have found her.
Or, yeah.
Child A.
Yeah, you're saying child A, like child abuse, and I'm
Yeah.
saying SUL.
And I mean that too. I mean, if you can think of any kind of act that was it was there. It was
Yeah.
there. It was probably one of the most horrific things that I've read in a court document.
And yeah, and the wording on that document was like just like sickening words.
Yes.
But I think that you guys can picture like what anal means and what D in mouth is and stuff like that.
Right. And they even went as far as just to describe identifying features of the the male genitalia that would make them know that it belonged to
him.
Pink
or something like that. Something about pink markings that went halfway down his D and stuff like that. But yeah, so I just sorry, go ahead, Charmaine.
It's very disturbing. Like I said, I don't know if anybody knows who Wesley Allen Dodd is, but he was a serial killer and he kept a very graphic diary. And I've read that, and this had the same effect on me that horrific diary did. This affidavit had that very same shocked effect on me.
Yeah, and Ben, yes, that was the unredacted part.
Okay, yeah. And yes, she was found. For anyone that doesn't know, yes, Meline Soto was found on Hickory Road at 4:30 p.m. today. And because, like they said in this video here, because of his cellular phone, which he just accidentally just happened to do a factory reset. Okay.
Yeah, her 13th birthday was actually on Thursday, and they celebrated it on Sunday, and she went missing on Monday.
Yeah.
And for what Ben had said earlier, no wonder she wanted to live in the woods. She had been telling her friends that when she turned 13, she was going to move into the woods. And that's my bit of speculation, that she wanted to move into the woods because of the abuse that she was facing at home. Perhaps she told her friends that that's what she was going to do and why. Maybe they gave her the confidence to stand up to him, and she did, possibly, and maybe threatened to tell. And, it's terrible to think about.
And then he discarded her in the wooded area.
Yeah.
I just quickly, Gil Hurd, thank you again for gifting another membership. CJK, you lucky duck, you got that one. Okay. There we go. Thank you again, Gail, for that. Gail, was it payday? Must have been payday. Was it payday on Friday?
He's been out gifting all day long.
Today? Yeah.
I mean, wait till you see some of the video that we're going to play. We're kind of, I think it's safe to say for the panel that we're all kind of questioning that exact thing about
the mother?
Mom. Yeah.
Wait, well, you know what? Let's do that. Play the other one. How long is the other one?
It's quite long, but
is this the one where she says we dropped her off at school?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
yes.
Yeah. Well, we can talk about it after.
Yeah. Okay. So let's before we move on, let's talk about this pathetic piece of crap that's literally pretending that it's just sickening watching. We just smart and brought him safely.
And his eyes are the darkest, meanest, emptiest I've ever seen.
One thing I want to say is that I've heard some people online today saying, why didn't the mother do a background check on this guy before she started dating him? He didn't have a criminal record. No. So a background check would have came up with nothing in this case. It's sad and it's horrible that this happened. And of course, I would think there would have had to have been signs that someone could have picked up on. Mm-hmm. But a background check in this case would have made no difference because
And
On paper, this guy looked like he was completely harmless to be
Yeah.
around a child.
And from what I understand, and don't quote me on this, this is more just stuff that I've seen online, but it looks to me like they met at work as they were both cast members working for Disney. He wasn't anymore for the past
Right.
10 years, but they've been
Mhm.
together for a long time. And from what I understand, they met at work. So it wasn't even
Yeah.
like meeting a stranger online or whatever. You know what I
Right.
mean?
And one thing
Yeah.
you'll hear in this video, like Joan just said, the mother said, "We dropped her off," and she doesn't say that. And so I'm just going to preface. So when you're watching it, because something I've heard a lot of people speculate on this, the mother saying "we dropped her off" thing, but when you're watching this, like literally in the next sentence or two or three sentences after, she does say
Yeah.
that, she does kind of clarify that a little bit. So just when you're watching that, kind of keep that, like listen for that, because the verbiage she uses changes to "he dropped her off."
But that's strange in itself. Like
Well,
why
she's going through trauma. So I mean, if she says we would,
Is-
maybe they would normally drop her off together, and maybe that day they didn't. So maybe she was like, "Oh well, he dropped her off."
okay, then we're gonna hear this too, but so this is what is confusing me as well, and if somebody has an answer. So she was never dropped off, according to the police, at any church at all. In
No,
fact,
never.
she was dead.
But he may have told her that he dropped
So-
her off.
Right?
I
No,
know
but
where you're going, Sunny, and I dug into that and I did
Did you?
find out. I did.
okay,
What it was is she heard that
Right.
Maddie was seen on the video at the church. She heard that through her sister, who
right,
saw a grainy security video.
Grainy.
That
Right.
police were able to grab that grainy security video and enhance it and figure out that wasn't Madeline.
wasn't her. Okay,
Right.
I
And your mom
figured that
didn't know
might be
that.
it.
Mom
Yes.
didn't know that.
Yeah. And that's why I was thinking, I was thinking, like, was this on a different day? Like, was this the wrong person?
Right.
Because there's no way that she could have been seen on the thing, right? So that I'm glad you cleared that. Like, I did hear that, Charmaine, so that makes sense. If it was the fact that it just simply wasn't her, and that, because I can't see no church lying besides them having it mixed up, thinking it was her. But anyways, what does Boston Christian say right here?
And then,
Quickly. Sunny, in that one interview with Channel 9, Mom referred to her in the past tense, and she laughed in the beginning of the interview. Very strange. Then she lied about who dropped her off.
Right.
Okay.
Well,
what
and
were
I
you gonna say?
noted all of that stuff too, but we all react to things differently. I don't think that I would be able to sit in front of a camera and be so put together as this mom is until
sure
she's
wouldn't.
asked how, like, her intuition and stuff, what is her mom instinct telling her, and then she kind of gets emotional. You
Yeah.
can read this entire interview in different ways. Yeah, she
Definitely.
does refer to her in the past tense once or twice, but for the most part, it's in present tense. So you have to see the whole thing
right.
and try not to put yourself in her shoes, because you might not react the same way that I would. And
Well,
vice versa, right?
And even if I trusted my partner, if they were the last one to be in the presence of my child who is now missing, I don't know, like we watched in that last video, if I would be if I'm the birth parent of this child, if I could be the person standing above my partner, consoling them.
And especially
Oh,
notable about what you just said, Aspen, is when she's doing her interview and he's there, he's sitting behind her fidgeting and being nervous. He's not
Very Chris
comforting
Watts
her,
like.
consoling her, nothing. But when he's talking and he's upset, she's consoling him.
Yeah.
And that to me tells me what kind of a mother she is, what kind of a nurturer she is. But like I said, I'm still leaving the door open for I don't know this woman. And
right. Police have said, just to clarify, sorry, Sonny.
No, go ahead.
Police have said during their press conference earlier today, they have said that as of right now, the mother is not a suspect. So,
as of right now, correct. Yeah.
So I mean, yes, there are always going to be questions, but I mean, this woman could just be going through unimaginable hell right now.
Yeah. I mean, in this interview too, and like Charmaine was just talking about, for anyone that just kind of watches this interview, like I think a lot of people take away like I'd be reacting a little bit differently. But then again, I said to myself as well that people react differently. I would be crying. I couldn't even be even remotely without tears streaming down my eyes. But, I did keep in mind that people do act differently, even though there's some strange things being said on this one. I am curious about this, where the mother was. Was she at work? Where was she?
She was sleeping because she worked too late the night before. So she was too tired to drive her to school, is what I found out.
Right, and she makes a comment about her phone being that her child has ADHD, and she's known for kind of like leaving her
She
phone.
forgot her phone at home that day.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's listen to part of it, and if you guys want to say stop, because you want to talk about a certain part of it, because it is 38 minutes. I got it on 1.25 speed. So we'll just play it out, and then if there's a point where you want to say something, just interject, and then I'll stop it. Okay.
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 We would never.
Yes, you would.
So what's going on with Maddie?
Well, Monday morning, we took her to school. We dropped her off close to school, across the street from a church, which is it's right next to the school. She crossed the street and walked to school, what we thought walked to school. My boyfriend who drove her to school drove away at that point. It was seen on video footage that she hung out in the parking lot of the church for a few
him
minutes
in the background.
and then got up and walked towards the school.
Pathetic, right?
But she never made it from that walk and that was around 9 a.m. when she got up. She never made it to school after that. It's right next to the school. I don't know why she didn't make it. I don't know if something happened on her walk along the way or if she got taken, but she never made it.
And that was the last anyone's seen of her or heard from her?
Yes. I went to pick her up after school and she wasn't there. So I started driving around, maybe thinking she took a walk. Maybe she decided to walk to my mom's office, which is pretty close to the school as well. Drove around and I didn't see anything. I drove back to the school. The school was closed. I emailed one of her teachers. They confirmed that she was absent all day. At that point is when I called 911 because I realized something was truly wrong.
Have you heard from any of her friends? Has she been active on any social media?
She hasn't been active on social media. None of her chats, none of her games. We did contact all her friends. None of them had seen her Monday or heard from her. Yeah, there's no update.
And I have to ask this, and I know
Sorry, just quickly. I believe in this interview, if I'm not mistaken, the press conference is part of it. We're not really going to watch too much of that because I believe I'm right, Charmaine, in this one. They're showing the press conference, and that's when they were discussing a few things. We'll watch parts of it, but we're not going to watch like this whole 38 minutes of it just because.
I think that this is just the interview with her and then with him. I don't know if there's press conference in it, but you can easily jump through to the parts we want to see. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. And thanks again, Gail, for another membership. And Boston Christian, you got that membership. Anyways, yeah, Charmaine, there is that in there. So that's why we'll watch a piece of it. Whoops. Let's do that. Okay, thanks again, Gail, for that, and Boston Christian. Okay, I'm going to continue playing.
I hate doing it, but is she the type that would run away? Has this happened in the past or anything? Has she ever threatened to run away?
Never. She's never ever mentioned anything like this before, and she's not the type to want to do this. She did accidentally leave her phone on Monday, which is kind of normal for her. She's got ADHD and very forgetful. So she left her phone at home, so there's no way to trace her. They tried tracing her school laptop, but that's off, so it's not pinging to anything.
Jen, what is your fear? I know you mentioned she's on games and stuff. Do you think she could have met somebody and tried to meet up with them?
She's open to us. She's open with us about, if she's had a crush with anyone, and she told us she had a crush on someone at school. And I looked at their messages, nothing was weird. I looked at all of her messages, all of her deleted messages. Nothing seemed weird. It didn't seem like she was talking to anyone. So I don't feel like that's the case. I feel like she may have been taken because this is not like her at all to just disappear and not tell us, not let us know where she's going or who she's with. Yeah.
What are you getting from law enforcement? I mean, are they actively searching for her? I mean, what happens now? I mean, especially that she doesn't have her phone with her.
So as far as I know, they're conducting a search around the school. Behind the school, there's a Shingle Creek. There's a wooded path area that you could walk. It's a hiking path. They are going back there with their canine dogs. They've taken a piece of her clothing to see if they can trace her scent. They're also taking their own vehicles. I'm not sure what type of vehicles, but they're going into the woods to search for her. But I don't feel like that's going to find anything right now. We've had people all day on that trail sending us photos to see if anything there looks familiar and like her personal belongings, and nothing is hers. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure where to go from here. I'm just contacting the news to get the word out, to get some help, because I'm desperate. I'm a wreck right now.
So you think that she's been taken against her will?
I do think so, yes.
As a mom, what's your mother's intuition telling you right now?
I'm trying to hope for the best, but I'm scared for her. I want her to be okay, and I want her to be safe. I don't want her to come back harmed. I just want her back, whatever that means. I just want her back.
Are you getting any updates from law enforcement? I mean, yes, they're searching that small area, but have they gotten any hits on any scent or anything like that?
They haven't let me know anything. They haven't updated me since I spoke to them this morning. I've contacted them to get some information or to give them some leads, but I've heard nothing back.
And Jen, there's no way that she, just being, a teenager, was like, maybe had a fight with you or an argument with you and was like, you know what, I'm going to go hang out at so-and-so's house and teach her a lesson. Could that be a scenario?
I don't believe so. We actually haven't gotten into a fight in like a few weeks, or arguments or anything like that. If anything, on Sunday, she celebrated her 13th birthday with my entire family, and she had the best day. She was so happy. She showed us all her gifts. She's just a happy girl, and she showed it on Sunday night when she went to bed. She was so happy. So, she had the best day. I just, there was no moment in that evening from when she got home from the party that she had her phone or had the laptop. She went straight to getting ready and went to bed. So I know she didn't have any conversations with anyone. She didn't make plans with anyone. I didn't see any of that.
So she spent the whole Sunday celebrating her 13th birthday. Was her 13th birthday on that Sunday, or that was just like the time you guys were celebrating?
That was the time we were celebrating. Her birthday was on Thursday, the 22nd.
Okay,
She just turned 13.
But that's just so heartbreaking to be celebrating her 13th birthday, and then the very next day, that's the last you've seen of her.
Yeah.
I mean, where
Just have to stop that there, because they ask about her birthday, and then that piece of shit being in the background. Like I said, it's hard to watch this knowing that piece of shit in the background right there is literally knows what he did to her. And
Not even knowing what he did to her, that he is the one behind her disappearance, but knowing what he's been doing to her.
Yeah. It's
Just
so
taking a drink of his Coca-Cola.
Yeah. Diane's on a gifting membership thing, by the way.
Oh, Diana, thank you.
Is that number 4?
No,
It's been Gail.
Gail.
It's Diana. Diana.
Oh, that was Diana who did that.
Yeah, this is Diana. Gail was doing the other ones. Thank you, Diana.
My bad. Sorry, Diana. I was almost getting used to the Gail ones.
You mean sorry, Gail? No,
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, Gail. Hey, hold on. Okay. Thank you, Diana. That was sweet. Shoot, what is this name again? Sweet Dude Shibby.
Right. And can I say really quickly, of course we all, it's always natural to think what you would do in a situation like this. But I agree with Jenny. You can't say that the mom is sus until you walk a mile in her shoes. This isn't about how you would react. And as of right now, I'm just going off of the fact that the police say she's not a suspect in anything. So,
yeah,
I feel like she should be treated as a victim in this situation as well right now. Until we know, and if we learn new information that changes, then absolutely our opinion should change. But as of right now, I feel like
and then
that's how I'm choosing to believe.
I agree. Like, I mean, I actually, well, am more under the belief that the mom had nothing to do with it or
Same.
no knowledge of it. And then Charmaine, I got your name right. Didn't get Diana's right, but I got yours right. Uh, uh, Charmaine gifted 5 memberships. Shelly got one. Princess Buttercup got one. Tabitha the Witch, Generally Jenny, and Mrs. Horse Whispers received those membership. Now, I know that. Okay, I'll let that one go off, and I'm just going to continue playing and hitting the thing. That way, it doesn't got to go off 5 times. Is that okay, Charmaine?
That's perfectly fine.
Okay.
Charmaine, you're so sweet. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Where do you go now? Are you going to go out there and search or look, or what is are you sticking by the phone? Are you what are you doing?
I'm staying at home, staying by the phone, hoping she just appears. I know my entire family is out looking. They've all spread a bunch of flyers. I've had people contact me that they've gone to the international airport to spread flyers, to Amtrak, to Greyhound, just any way that if someone's taken her and they're trying to take her, just to show her face, just to make sure, she's not being taken against her will.
And you mentioned ADHD. Was there anything else maybe mentally going on or that you knew of?
She does suffer from anxiety, and once upon a time she was diagnosed with autism. We had her what's the word?
Brain, maybe?
Reevaluated.
Okay.
We had her reevaluated a few months ago, actually, and they told us no, she didn't have autism, but she did have some autistic traits. She did have ADHD, some autistic traits, but not autism. So I'm not sure where to leave with that, because one doctor said she did and one doctor's saying she doesn't, and I don't know. She's just in the middle, I guess, because she does have some tendencies, but socially she's pretty great. So I'm not sure.
And with the video that you were able to see whenever your boyfriend dropped her off, where was that? Which video? Was that a surveillance camera?
It was a surveillance camera from the church, Peace Church, right next to Hunters Creek Middle School.
And do you have that video?
I don't have that. They didn't show me. They wouldn't show me. It was actually my sister was the one at location, and they were letting her know what they saw on camera.
Okay.
They didn't show it to any of us.
Got it. Okay. Jen, is there anything else that you'd like to add?
Please, if you have any information, contact me, contact law enforcement. Any information helps. Maddie, if you see this, please come home. Please be safe. I love you very much. If you have my Maddie, please just let her come home. We just want her home.
All right. Well, good afternoon. So thank you for being here so we can bring as much attention as possible to the case.
See here for a second here. Okay, thanks, Charmaine. I think the last one went off. If I'm wrong, there might be one more on there. Anyways, so again, appreciation to Gil Hurd, Diana S., and Charmaine for gifting people memberships. I love the whole pay it forward thing. That it helps the channel, obviously, but in turn, it also gives somebody a membership so they can play with emojis if they want, check out the channel, and also not have to deal with slow mode. But I haven't been putting slow mode on recently, to be honest with you. Just depends. If it's Delphi, sure, typically. But so this is where it gets into the press conference part. So I'm not sure if you guys want to hear this again, knowing that she's been found, or just kind of go to the part where they kind of show him being, coming out. What do you guys prefer, Charmaine and Adam?
I mean, I've watched it so many times today, and I know like a number of people in chat. I've seen them elsewhere today, so I know that the majority of people have seen it.
Okay, so let me just go ahead.
I don't know. I
mean,
think it would be okay to skip it.
Yeah, let's go to this part of it, you guys, quickly.
It wouldn't change our investigation. It's just a piece of
because
information
she's been found now,
and based on our training dealing with people who may be on the spectrum, that is something that we take into consideration about where they might end up, where they might go. All right, thank you.
Walk.
The search for Maddie continues.
Maddie, if you see this, please come home.
It's now been 4 days since 13-year-old Meline Soto was last seen in Orlando. Her mother's boyfriend now sitting in a jail cell, the prime suspect in her disappearance.
Based on his refusal to come to court, he's got an out-of-county warrant out of Osceola County. His bonds will remain at none.
And Fox 35 got Stefan Stearns on camera before he was arrested.
Tonight, Maddie's family is hoping for good news as they wait for a break in the case.
We will not stop until we find her.
Well, they did.
Developing story tonight. A lot has happened over the past
So,
few days.
I don't think we're gonna watch any more of that. There's no need, in a sense, because it's just like I said. This is prior to her being found. So the
Isn't
orange.
that
Go ahead.
the part, his part is at the end of that, isn't it?
Oh, what was at the end of it? Sorry. Let's
His
see here.
interview. When he was talking to the camera.
You're talking about
Stefan.
um.
Isn't that the video where he does
No.
his little piece of the video interview, and when he's crying and she is comforting him? Isn't
No,
that
well,
on that one? It was on the
No.
last one that I sent you.
Yeah, that's the first one we watched. It was the one where he was on the video crying. The first one you sent me. I'm just scanning it, like meaning the first one we watched was the interview where she's consoling him. Is that what you're referring to?
Did we watch that?
Did you? Where Charmaine? Where were you?
I mean, right here, but
Hey,
this
you're talking.
is my brain. I'm just.
Oh, okay. Because this is the one we watched. Remember, this is the first one you sent me here.
Yeah, that's not it though. That's not the whole thing.
Okay, well, I didn't. Let me go back to the other one then, because I was just kind of scanning it over. Let me just see here. Okay, so you're saying
I thought it was.
mm,
Go all the way. Just hover all the way to the end.
yeah, I went there. Let's see. It's just the police, their conference stuff.
Oh, I mean, maybe I was sleeping. Maybe my dog. Maybe I don't know.
I mean, like I said, like here, I'll, you know what? I'll play the other one again, just for people that have come in after the fact, and we'll play that one again. Okay, let me play.
More about the disappearance of this teenager, the prime suspect.
Bring her home if you find her. Tell her that we love her.
That man, the boyfriend of the young girl's mother, and tonight he's behind bars accused of sexual battery. And deputies continue the search for this missing 13-year-old girl. Madeline Soto was last seen on Monday. Good evening. I'm Christopher Heath.
I'm Darlene Jones. Deputies arrested her mother's boyfriend, who you see here, 37-year-old Stephen Stearns, yesterday for battery and possession of child abuse material. We have live team coverage on this major story tonight. Channel 9's Ashlyn Webb has been digging through the documents related to his arrest. Ashlyn is live outside of the Orange County Jail, where he's now being held. And Ashlyn, you learned from investigators that it was his cell phone that led to this arrest.
This one you're talking about, Charmaine?
No.
And the big flag here
I
is
mean, that was a good idea of what kind of lying piece of shit he is. So.
factory reset on his phone the day Madeline disappeared. Now, investigators were able to get crucial evidence off that phone that led to his arrest. Today, we did a deep dive into his background and also how long he and Madeline Soto's mother have been in a relationship, sorting through records and also speaking to his family and her family. This is what we know.
It's a living nightmare. They started off like any other.
Just a day before Stephen Stearns was arrested for assault battery and possession of child abuse material, he spoke to Channel 9, crying and pleading for help to find Madeline. He said he was the last person to see her, dropping her off at a church down the street from school. Now, law enforcement is investigating what role he had in Madeline's disappearance and saying there were red flags while interviewing the family. According to the arrest affidavit, family and friends said it was unusual for Madeline to be dropped off down the street. When investigators interviewed Stearns, they asked to look at his phone, but he stated he accidentally performed a factory reset on the phone the day Madeline disappeared. Law enforcement was able to recover several photos and videos showing Stephen battling a child. We spoke by phone to Stearns' father, Christopher Stearns, who said he was shocked by these developments. We went to speak to Jennifer Soto's mother today. She was not at home, but we spoke by Ring doorbell camera. She said Stephen Stearns and Jennifer Soto have been in a relationship for several years, adding that she is extremely worried about Madeline's safety, particularly after hearing what authorities found on Stephen Stearns' phone. As for a criminal history, Stearns is not a registered sex offender. In fact, this is the first time he's been booked in the Orange County Jail. We found no criminal history. The Orange County Sheriff's Office.
Sorry, Charmaine, if I'm not mistaken, I'm thinking it was this other one that you put in our group chat, but not in mine, like not in the one that you sent me. But I think it's this one. Hold on, make sure I got. I think it was perhaps this one. No, it wasn't this one. Sorry. I just had it up. Which one is it? It was 15 minutes long. Hold on. That one's 38. What did the 15? Oh, this one here. Okay. Stop for a second. Share screen. I think it was this one you were speaking of. This is 15 minutes long. Okay.
Your last name and spell them both out for me.
Okay. Jennifer Soto, JENNIFER
Mother. Jennifer, tell me how you feel right now.
Just the one?
Yeah, this is the one. And no, Ivy, Sunny didn't edit it. The news.
All I keep thinking about is
the news people did.
where is she? Is she safe? Is she okay? But we're all a wreck. My entire family's a mess.
No, they said that in that one that you just
Sorry.
watched, Ivy, about the phone.
When did you first realize, or when did you file a missing report?
We filed a missing report. We called the police at like 4:45 yesterday, 4:45 p.m. But she actually went missing.
Oh, my bad. Sorry, guys. I hit the wrong button.
We had dropped her off close to the school. She wanted to walk the rest of the way. That should be it. Sorry about that. We dropped her off at school, close to school. She wanted to walk the rest of the way. I'm not sure what I'm allowed to share.
You share whatever you feel comfortable sharing. I know you had conversations with detectives. Not sure what the conversation is, but whatever you feel comfortable sharing, that we'll put the awareness out there.
Yeah, she was spotted walking by the church, by the middle school on the cameras. They saw her hang out in the parking lot for a little bit and then get up and leave. They didn't see a vehicle or anything else. They just saw her walk away around 9 a.m. heading towards the school, but she never made it.
What has the school said? Have you get in contact with the school?
Yes, that they're doing everything they can. They've given me all their resources. The principal's called me. They've looked at their cameras. I don't think they've caught anything on the cameras is too far away from the sidewalk. Everything is too grainy, so they can't see specific faces. But they've looked. I'm just waiting to hear anything else from them.
Is this normal behavior?
Not
to
at all.
just not show up or call or text or anything?
Not at all, no. She, from time to time, she will leave her cell phone at home accidentally, and that's actually what happened yesterday. She left her phone at home. She went to school. But that happens from time to time. She's got ADHD, her memory. She's very forgetful. So yeah, there's no way to track her right now because the detectives don't have her phone. But this isn't normal behavior now.
What was the last thing, I guess, the conversation that you two had, you and your daughter?
We spoke about her birthday party. She had a birthday party on Sunday. She had a great time. I couldn't make it because I was working, but she had an amazing time. She was so happy with all her gifts. I told her good night, and yeah, that was it. I I was the one who took her to school in the morning. That was my partner. Yeah.
13?
She's 13 years old. Yes.
13, Madeline?
Madeline.
Madeline. What are you thinking right now?
In my heart, I feel like somebody took her. This isn't like her to just pick up and run away, or just not go to school. I don't know what to think.
Friends, the friends' parents, you've contacted and went through every single person?
Everyone that we know that she knows, we've contacted them all, reached out to them. The parents have gone out to search and look for her as well. And we haven't come up with anything yet.
I've seen a lot of posts on Facebook, Hunters Creek, rants and raves and what have you. Did people say that they were going to conduct some type of like search party or anything?
A lot of people have asked me to volunteer, like if there is one, if they can do one. I have people passing out flyers, going to every store in that vicinity, a gas station, church. I think people were being stopped in the street this morning in front of the school to see if they've seen anything, if they've heard anything. My family they're going all out right now. Yeah.
I know as a mother, a lot is going on in your brain.
So much
to bring her back home. What have the law enforcement told you that you are able to share?
I mean, that they're doing the best that they can. They've had detectives come out, interview us. They took a piece of her clothing for the canine dog to see if they can sniff her out. I'm not sure when that's being done.
Do you have any inkling where she possibly could be? Like if you would say, okay, last time I went to work and came back, she was at James' house or Sabrina's house, and maybe I forgot to check that house, or she played at this park one weekend, maybe she went back there or something like that.
We've looked everywhere we could have thought, and anywhere she would have been. She would have known to wait for me at the school. But we did check if she could have walked. My mom's office is close to the school. We checked there. We checked the walking paths that she could have taken. We've checked all of her friend's house. I think we've checked everywhere I could think of, honestly.
What do you think? Oh gosh, I just had to tip my tongue. What was she wearing?
She was last seen wearing a green hoodie, black shorts, white Crocs, a black JanSport backpack with gray hibiscus flowers on it.
And you said this is not like her.
Not at all.
To run away, an argument, anything like that to provoke her?
She's never done anything like this, no. And we haven't had any arguments recently to have this outcome.
What school?
Hunters Creek Middle School.
Tom, any questions? Yeah. Is there anything that you think our viewers would need to know about the way you're feeling, the way the family's feeling, Madeline?
We're desperate for any answers, anything that you could do to help. I'm here for it. Just please, if you see my daughter, just please bring her home. I just hope you're okay, Maddie. I hope you're safe. I hope you're not hurt. I just hope she's okay.
When did you notice that she was missing? Because this was at the beginning of the morning.
She got dropped off in the morning. We did not notice until after school pickup at 4 o'clock when I went to go pick her up, and she wasn't at school.
So we're going in 24 hours now.
Yeah.
Just about.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing. No word. No text message. No messages anywhere from her. I've looked at all her social medias. I've looked at all her games she could have played with. Any app. No weird conversations. No. Nothing strange. Everything was conversations with just normal friends or us.
She knows how to get home by herself, as if, like, let's just say, to take a bus or an Uber or something like that. She would know how to get home alone, correct?
I'm not sure. I don't know if she would know how to get home. Maybe, I mean, I'm thinking if someone got in the car with her and if she pointed the way, what roads, she probably could figure out how to get, but like, does she know a full address? I don't think she does.
Which would give me it just puts in my brain that she always comes home with someone.
She always comes home with me.
There's no need for her to really learn. Okay. And you said no, Tom? I think that was everything. All right. The first question is if I can get your first and last name and spell them both out for me.
Stephen Stearns, Stephan Sterns.
All right, so Stephen, you seem very emotional right now. Explain to us.
I dropped her off. Everything looked fine when I drove away. So last time we saw her.
What were the conversations that y'all had in the car when you dropped her off?
Not much. She was asleep for most of the way. Told her have a good day at school when she got out. I love her. She said thanks, love you too. That was it.
And so where do you think she could possibly be? I mean, this isn't, as I was told, this isn't normal behavior.
This is not normal behavior. She's not the type that would just run off. We don't know where she can be. And we're scared. We just want her home.
Are you, in a sense, blaming yourself?
It's hard not to.
Why?
I dropped her off early. I could have waited longer. She looked okay. She was walking towards the school when I saw her. It was like any other day, so I went on with my day. It's hard not to blame myself.
What has the conversation been with Jen since?
She's been a lot stronger than me.
God, it's so pathetic to watch this guy speak.
Right. Where's Alexa when we need her?
It's reality. We don't know where she is. We don't know if she's safe. We're just scared. We just want her home.
Have you, like, literally put boots on the ground, went out?
Yeah, I even went out with the cops where I had dropped her off. And we looked all up and down the road, all along communities, and there was nothing helpful. None of the cameras were pointing the street. Nothing, which in 2024 was surprising. The church across the street had some cameras, and they mentioned seeing her waiting around in the parking lot for a while before moving on, and that was it. But it was grainy. It was grainy footage, and not much else.
Does it seem like she walked west, east?
They said in the direction of the school. I'm not sure what that is.
What was the language? Not language verbally, language, body language. When you dropped her off, did she seem happy? Was she like, I'm going to meet my friends?
Happy. She had a happy weekend. She just turned 13. She had a 13th birthday party. She was happy that we were all together here, and she was just very happy. She was a happy kid. She's very sweet. She's a very sweet girl. She brings a lot of joy to us, and we just not knowing.
So the unknown is killing me.
Yeah, it's like our whole world is upside down. Not feeling her presence here is. I'm sorry. It's hard.
I'm gonna be fine. Don't need to apologize. What do you want our viewers to know when they see this?
She's a sweetheart. She's a very sweet, kind girl. Just please be nice to her. Bring her home if you find her. Tell her that we love her. Wherever she is, I hope she's okay.
I mean, if someone were to come in contact with her and you gave me her diagnoses, would it be easy to approach her without any like agitation or anything?
Yeah. She's a good kid. She's a good kid.
If you can sum up in one complete sentence, waking up, getting ready to drop her off at school, dropping her off at school, to now speaking to me after talking to the police about her being missing for over 24 hours right now. In one complete sentence, what would that be?
A living nightmare. It's a living nightmare. Day started off like any other. I just want to wake up. You just get hit with waves of the reality just setting in. As soon as it got dark last night, we started falling apart. We knew it wasn't going to come to an end. And now we're going on 24 hours and still nothing. Just conflicting reports here and there. People say they see this or that. None of it's conclusive and none of it's helpful. We just want a baby girl back.
God, it makes me puke.
Tom, any questions?
No, I'm good.
Oh,
Thank you.
Okay. Oh, seriously. Oh, so pukable, you guys, listening to that piece of shit. So anyone that's coming into this live, obviously this live is about the Madeline Soto case. And this guy, his name is Stephen Stearns, which is the boyfriend that's been for many years of Jen Soto, the mother of Madeline Soto. And of course, he's been charged. And in the arrest affidavit, I think it was who just asked that question? Crystal, I think it was someone named Crystal. Where did I just see it? Thought I just seen or Deborah Lyons. So the cause is clear as day. He had multiple photos, whatever videos of SA things that are disgustingly gross. That's why I didn't show the arrest affidavit, because I just deem it as it's not. You don't want to show certain stuff on YouTube, and this one was kind of explicit in what was in those pictures. D in mouth, anal stuff, just horrific stuff.
Right.
And go ahead, Adam.
Lacey, so what Sonny was just talking about, that's how they know he was involved. He literally had pictures of Madeline involved with SA with him. And they even went as far in the affidavit to describe identifying features about his genitalia that they conclusively could determine that it was the victim and the perpetrator in the photos or videos. And that's how they knew he was definitively guilty of what he was originally charged with.
Yeah,
So-
the abuse, the battery.
Yep. Now, have they updated the charge of murder yet?
Not yet.
All right. Sonny, did you see the picture that I sent in our thing when I was watching that?
I'll show that in just a second. So for anyone, again, at about 4:30 p.m. today, off of the Hickory Tree Road, Osceola, how do you say that word? Osceola County Sheriff's Office.
Yeah.
Eh?
Yeah.
Am I saying it right? Okay. Search team located the body of Madeline Soto. I'm going to say Osceola.
Yeah, you're saying it right.
I am?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Madeline's family has been notified. So they found her in the wooded area. Madeline's family has been notified. We have no additional information to release at this time. Kissimmee PD Department, lead agency in this homicide investigation. That work continues, okay? So she was found now, sadly. What a piece of shit. Again, this is like, there's so many cases, but we just had Audrey Cunningham's case, where supposedly dropped her off at the bus, they found the backpack, et cetera, turns out it was the dad's freaking friend from on the property. Anyways, this is so disgusting and so horrific. And he didn't have any actual charges. He hadn't had any actually criminal charges against him. Now, Adam had just, pretty sure I just downloaded this picture. 1 second, Adam. They all just seem to... here it is right here. Let me just pull this picture up here that Adam had sent. And then I'll take you over to Google Maps for a second as well. So this picture is of him crying. And you can kind of look at the knuckles there that have obviously little wound marks.
The first time I watched the video, which was earlier, I caught a glimpse of it. And so I zoomed in and I just took screenshots. And I mean, to me, that's clear abrasions right above his knuckles on his ring finger.
It's honestly, it's just disgusting watching this guy speak, especially when you know that he's the one that literally took this girl's life. They celebrated her birthday the day before. Her birthday was on the Thursday. They celebrated it on the Sunday. The mom apparently was sleeping, so I don't know that we know exactly where he took her life. I know that the police said that on camera they saw him throwing stuff into the garbage at the complex or whatever where they lived, and that they'd also seen Madeline in the vehicle, but they don't believe she was alive at that time. That she never did go to the school. And just to give you a little bit of reference to that, we'll just go over to let's see here, Google Maps for a second.
Right. And this is a capital case, by the way, for anyone that was curious. So this guy will absolutely possibly be brought up on DP charges.
And They saw him dumping things in the dumpster behind their condo, and the police did recover what he dropped in there. It was her backpack and her school issued laptop.
Right. Thank you, Charmaine. Yeah. Yeah. So
I
on
sent
the
that to the group. You can go and look at it in the group.
yeah, we're not showing the affidavit on here. The arrest affidavit. It's to me, it's something that I know that YouTube would, I'm sure, not approve of, and I just feel like it's too sick. Like because the wording in there, is vile. Just the words, like you don't usually see. Well, you know what I mean. Like they were pretty graphic with their words and what they were talking about.
It wasn't a normal redaction where they redact those.
Florida.
It seemed like they only redacted the name.
It's Florida.
Yeah, and I also heard that in Florida, not very long ago, correct me if I'm wrong, Chet, but I'm pretty sure that they have the death penalty now is available for
SA.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
against a child, at least.
Terrific. Yeah.
Yeah, the laws in Florida are a little different with certain things. If anyone remembers when that a YouTube creator came under fire last year for putting Gannon Stouch's autopsy photos behind a paywall on Patreon. The reason he was able to obtain those is because of the laws in Florida. When you request a case file,
everything.
They send everything.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. She took a lot of slack for that. But the thing is that she took a lot of slack for that. But the thing is that and Plunder does this as well. Like there's certain things that you can't put on YouTube. So you put it behind one of your walls, which is, typically Patreon.
Right.
And it's not.
Yeah.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead. But you think that this was a little bit different for that?
I mean,
yeah.
Anytime there's a image of a child that's unclothed, I feel like you have to be a little bit more. It's just not. I don't care where. It's just not something I would. It's just not something I would put anywhere.
I was going to say. I mean,
you just because you receive that doesn't mean you have to share it.
It's kind of like Abby and Libby's pictures.
Yeah.
We've seen them. Am I going to put them anywhere? Right. Absolutely not.
And Gannon's didn't even have any.
Yeah.
And I'd like to say too about Patreon. Like we have a Patreon as well, and there is a paywall there, but you don't have to be a paid member to see certain content. You just have to be a group member and an accepted group member. So she didn't have to put it behind a paywall. And I mean, good thing she did so that they weren't, but
I mean, yeah, like I don't know how Patreon shit works myself because I have a Patreon, but I honestly haven't been asked to really like overly do anything at all with it. Just
my mom is my biggest fan. That's the only reason why I keep it. So that's the only way she knows how to listen to the podcast is through it.
And really quickly, Ivy, I agree with you. I'm not a huge fan, but I don't think her intention was to hide nude pictures of a dead child behind a paywall. I think she just wasn't thinking clearly, and I don't think she used good judgment.
Right, and I agree with that as well. But again, I mean, each to their own. The public will uprise when they have a problem with it, and they did. Exactly. And like the public can be very accepting of certain things and other things
and
not.
Forgiving.
Yeah. Like that. I always can't help but always think of Joseph Morris. I mean, when he bullshitted about those the Idaho War for that was for money purposely. That was to deceive his audience.
He was intentionally deceiving. Sorry.
No, that's right. He was intentional. Yeah. And I do wonder myself, was there other children? Like besides Madeline, was there other children? Do we know?
Someone said there was a brother that lived with the birth father. I've not personally verified that.
Okay. So let me just quickly go back to Google Maps here. So this Madeline school is right here, guys, right? The Middle Creek, Hunter's Middle Creek. Right here. The church is just below that. Where am I? The church is right here, which is virtually across, like this highway right there. And I don't know exactly because I didn't have time to like look exactly where the helicopter footage was, but she was found on Hickory Tree Road, which basically starts here. So she was found in some wooded area. I know that there was a farm I was looking out for, but anyway, so Hickory Road goes along here. So I'm not sure what part of Hickory Road yet, but just to actually, hit the wrong button there. Present. Let me just find that for a second.
I actually sent you the exact location of that chopper in the group.
Did you?
I did.
Oh, well, that would be the problem then. Was that when I was sleeping? Probably. No. I know that you guys sent a lot of stuff.
You may or may not have been showering at that time. I'm not sure, but I was kind of bombarding you with stuff, and in that was just a message with the exact location of Hickory.
Would you show? Could you send that to me again, Charmaine, or bump it down?
5665 Hickory Tree Road.
Okay, hold on. Let me just stop then.
Is that the same you have, Charmaine?
Yeah, and it had like a crossroad in it too.
It was Hickory Tree Road and Nursery Road.
Okay, so wait. So it was what was the address?
The address that someone sent me was 5665 Hickory Tree Road.
Okay. Let me spell Hickory right. Tree Road. Okay, 56.
And that's in St. Cloud.
Okay, so so oddly enough, it took us exactly where the thing stopped. So it literally took us where that thing stopped. So it's just where's because if I go down to the road here,
Let's try. It was the intersection of Hickory Tree and Nursery Road.
Okay.
I'll see if I can find it.
Let me just see if this does anything.
Definitely rural. I wonder because this was also 45 minutes away from where he lived. So I wonder what familiarity he had with the area. Like, because typically when someone chooses an area to go to dispose of something like human remains, they have a familiarity with the area somewhat.
Okay, so it was Nursery Road, and this is.
It's Hickory Tree Road west of Earl Bronson near Pearl Lake in Osceola County.
Right.
Is where the helicopter was.
Okay, so Nursery. Okay, so this is Hickory Tree Road here, and this is Nursery. So it was in this vicinity then, eh?
Yeah.
Because this is.
And then you're between the two lakes there also, so.
Yeah.
So wherever Earl Bronson is, it's just
what's
west.
What's Earl Bronson? Sorry.
Earl Bronson, just west of.
Is Earl Bronson though like a lake, or is it a? There's Pearl Lake. What's Earl Bronson? Is it a building? Is it a road?
With the
I don't know. I just dictate, or the news person was dictating from the chopper.
Yeah, the 5665 is the address of the property that they found her at. That is what I was sent.
Okay. Let's do this favor a sec. I got the thing up for a sec. Let's go to that for a minute. This is when they're searching. We're not going to play this all, but we're just going to play a bit of it. So you're not going to hear any sound. Okay, so there's a red building right over there.
Mm-hmm.
This farm.
That's the address I was sent.
We'll just play a bit of this here.
Yeah, and they walked back. I'm pointing like you can see where I'm pointing, but they walked back a little ways, and there's like a not a garbage pile, but there's some debris back there in the wooded area. I don't know if you guys can hear, but my dog is sniffing the microphone.
Yeah. It's pronounced Osceola. Osceola.
Osceola.
Osceola.
Thank you, Scooby Dooby Doo. Sorry, Scooby Doo.
Scooby Doo, where are you?
It's hard for me not to say Scooby Dooby Doo.
Right. Scooby Dooby Doo.
Yeah, and there were cows in that farm field, and there were also bales of hay that were covered in white tarps.
Close. Yeah. Okay. So, well, that's then, but Google Maps might not.
Oh, of course, yeah. Yeah, they're not going to be on Google Maps. But having grown up on a farm, I've seen those same piles many, many times in my life.
Let's. I'll hit. Let me just see. Okay, so 5665. That's quite a little ways from nursery, isn't it? That 5665.
Right. I just think it was the nearest, because I mean, you see how rural this area is. I think that was the nearest intersection.
Well, they were probably all the way down around that whole area searching is what it was. Yeah.
I mean, to me, I don't think it was premeditated per se. Like my own bit of speculation is that she might have threatened to tell
on him?
her mom or something that night or that morning or something. And I don't think it was planned. It sounds disgusting, but I think that he might have been infatuated with her or had some kind of misplaced lust feelings towards her and thought that they were in some kind of a relationship. We'll get into a little bit of his Reddit stuff in a bit, but it just seems to me like he's a little bit off. He relates to teenagers more than he does adults.
Yeah.
I wonder. I'm not, and this is pure speculation. But another possibility is, considering this may have been an ongoing situation, maybe he found out he was in a situation that he couldn't get out of, such as.
I heard that too.
Such as what what if she was pregnant? And it's just speculation. Right. But if this was, he seemed to have access to this child quite a bit, and if this was an ongoing thing, and he found himself in a situation that he couldn't get out of, I don't know. I hope all of it's unthinkable.
It is, but it's becoming more and more common, and it's beyond disturbing at this point.
Yeah.
And it's not, I don't think it's because we're just finally noticing. Maybe it's social media is making it more prevalent, but to me, it's happening more frequently.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say about that, because every time we turn around, it seems like there's another child. Like, look at Elijah Vu,
Still not. And I mean, there's nothing in the charges right now that says he shared the CSAM. Maybe they'll be upgraded, but I think that his obsession was with this kid.
Yeah.
I just I don't know what's selling their brains. Things that yummy. The child looks so much good, so good. And the thing's cutting out, you guys, because when the helicopter, the reception or something like that, they said it was sorry for the black areas type of thing because of I mean,
she was a 13-year-old babe. I mean, well, she was 12, essentially. She just turned 13.
So I had a situation at work, and it's kind of this, not
give me one sec.
to the degree, but okay. So I had a woman come to me and tell me that her husband had been having an affair with her daughter. And the affair had started when her daughter was 12 years old. And I mean, I couldn't imagine. And me being the HR person, I didn't, because the daughter also worked for the same company. So both of them were there. And I mean, it was just a horrible situation. And talking to the daughter about it, about her side of things, she didn't feel like she had been groomed. She felt like a side chick for her stepfather. I mean, absolutely blew my mind. And obviously I told them that this isn't my, it's not my job. And I referred them to therapy. I had to deal with the workplace side of things, but she didn't even look at it as though she was being groomed. And she was 19 at that time.
That happens more than not, though.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's years and years later that someone realizes that what happened to them wasn't
okay.
normal.
It wasn't their fault, and it definitely wasn't okay. Not that adultery is ever okay, but when it happens with your stepdad, like he had been in her life since she was 4 years old.
That's happening. I mean, not those specific circumstances, but that feeling of not realizing that you were a victim. That's a very normal thing that happens all the time.
Absolutely.
Because people will rationalize a situation that they're in to protect themselves, to protect their mental state from feeling any certain way about some things sometimes.
And I think Ivy hit it on the head. It is reported more nowadays, absolutely, but I'm talking about the parents who are doing these horrendous things to their children and dumping their bodies, and it just seems to be there's one, like a new one every week that we see, at least one a week that we see.
I personally, I don't think that it happens more than it has in the past. I think that because of social media and because of technology and awareness, I think that we just have a much greater understanding of it today than we did 20 years ago.
Definitely.
I did absolutely direct her to go to the RCMP, but she was in love with the man, and that just didn't happen. It wasn't my job. I had to take care of them at work, in the work environment. Anything outside of that, I could give them my advice and my heartfelt sympathy. But I did ask her to go to the RCMP, and I tried to reason with her that way, but it wasn't like that. My dog is the worst, I'm telling you. I gotta shut my camera off just a sec. Oh my God.
What's your dog doing?
He's farting so bad.
Oh, is he farting? Oh my God, those must stink.
So rude.
Yeah, so rude. Especially during a live. I do mute myself when that happens.
I don't do that.
Of course you don't. Of course you don't. You're that special breed that doesn't they? Fluff.
Oh, my eyes are watering. It's terrible. I can't.
Charming. Now, the thing that gets me is that there must be some sort of, obviously, about a dominance thing, like having a dominance over a child, because it's kind of like with the Madeline McCann case, like that guy that's, say, charged with Madeline McCann's, or not, I shouldn't say charged yet, but they suspect in Madeline McCann's, it's like an 83-year-old woman he essayed, right? So there has to be definitely that part, besides there being sick, twisted individuals, about, the fact that they can, like I said, like a child is easily scared. Like, let's say this guy says, if you say anything, I'm going to kill your mother, type of thing.
Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of it's control and exerting dominance, exerting control over another human being. And who do people exert control over? People that are easily
exactly
manipulated, meaning elderly people and children.
I can't, being in true crime, you guys. One of the most things that really has been a shock to me is, when I would when I look up people like on Intellius, right? And then they show like the SA predators that are living in the area. Like for instance, like Summer Wells case and stuff like that. And it's like you just see the, like the Google Earth tags, and you see these tags all over the map, and in some places like in Los Angeles, oh my God, it's like a freaking herd of ants. And I just honestly cannot believe that there's all these sick, twisted people that are interested in either kitty, PORN, or this sadistic shit with children. It just blows me away. Like, so in my head, I think, what brain cell got lost along the way? Like, were they born with some sort of defect in their brain that goes, oh, yummy, like a little infant or a child? I don't, that, there's so many of these sickos out there, like, so many. And it's just like I said, if I was to go out right now and survey people, they would have no clue. They wouldn't have one iota. Like, this is what sucks in Canada, right? Because in the US, like, you freaking are, sitting there, but like out for the world that you live beside or near or whatever, an estimable offender. Out in Canada, it's like you have no idea who your neighbor is, if he's an SA, or how many people are around you that potentially are, and stuff like that. Anyways, the numbers just to me are just crazy. I didn't realize, only being in true crime, like I said, how dangerous the internet is, definitely for teenagers or women, or I'll say men too, but men is to the like the lighter scale towards women.
Not boys though. Boys are
No.
just as victimized. Boys are just as victimized as girls are.
As girls, when it comes to,
and they're way less likely to ever come forward.
Yeah, right. Anyways, I don't even know what to say about these sick, twisted individuals, because they're just disgusting human beings. They're freaking pigs, rot in hell, burn in hell, do whatever you want. You're going to no pearly fucking gates. You're going, like straight to hell. Have a good flight down there. And like, I don't even know, like, I just wish and pray that, karma be a bitch to these people. Because it's just sick. It's disgustingly sick. It's sick. Anyways, what are you guys all saying over here? Interesting, thank you. But at some level, if any adult heard about something like that and deemed it credible, who wouldn't report it? Right. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, and I know we want to talk about, I think Charmaine had some Reddit posts that she wanted to talk about.
Yeah. Let me bring those up.
Strong word, but were you able to get into Reddit, or just the screenshots that I sent you?
I only looked at the screenshots.
Okay.
Yeah. Same.
Well, I mean, the actual Reddit is not all that exciting. It's more to show, I guess, what kind of a douchebag this guy is, and just how comfortable he is talking to children, to teenagers, because these are the groups and the forums that he was on. Teenagers asking questions, teenagers venting, and he's responding to them like prolifically, constantly. And some of them he's helping them, he is giving advice and comfort, and some of them he's kind of egging them on. And
is there anyone in particular you wanted to, read, Charmaine? From these?
Not really.
Or you just want to explain?
Yeah, just explain and show that, this guy, maybe he didn't have a criminal record for child SA, but he was clearly relating to teenagers, purposely trying to relate to teenagers and connect with them a lot more than he should have been, in my opinion. Like, I don't know. It would be different if he wasn't a sicko, number one. But number two, if he was just on there to, kind of monitor kids and I don't even know if that would be okay. Do you know what I'm saying? Because these forums are supposed to be for kids to go on an event to like-minded kids that might be going through the same thing. So you know what I mean? It seemed really strange. And I did share my screen with you, Sunny, for the actual Reddit, and
Sustenance is the name.
Yeah. He was let me see. So those are all my Reddits. I can't click on that. I don't know how to navigate somebody else's Reddit.
Well, isn't it just the top part's the thing, and then it becomes about people commenting? That's all I know about Reddit.
So Advice for Teens is one of the groups that he posted in a lot. And then there's some about gaming. Walt Disney World, he posted in that quite a bit. But mostly, I got to tell you, most of them are the advice for teens. I'm pregnant and I don't know what to do. And he commented, like it or not, this is something you may need some help with. You may be scared or embarrassed to talk to a trusted friend or family member, but it's probably the right thing to do. You need to get ahead of this. You need a game plan. You need support. Like I said, there's nothing overly disturbing in this other than the fact that he was spending his time talking to teenagers. Like, I don't know, am I the only one that thinks that's not right? I don't spend
it's weird. It's
weird.
On Reddit, and we've got a portion of our podcast where we go on Reddit and we go through the Am I the Asshole? Because a lot of them are funny. And that's the kind of stuff, or cases like Delphi or whatever. This is where adults belong if they're going to do Reddit stuff. They don't belong in teenage forums.
Like, I have an 18-year-old niece that I'm really close to, and I moved to North Carolina when she was born. So I mean, I've been here her whole life, and so I've been around a lot of her friends as she grew up. And like when she was 11, 12, 13 years old, I had a lot of her friends that would try to follow me on Instagram or friend request me on Facebook. And I always was like, no, that's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't need to be friends with an adult man when you're a child.
Right.
So I'm like, an adult man going into a teen forum on Reddit is weird.
And I mean, he does bring up his stepdaughter a lot. Like, he's always wanting to buy her these Tamagotchis and stuff like that. And
right.
Brings
Which
her,
again, like, yeah, it's weird.
And just relating to teenagers in a way that I just found a little bit disturbing.
A lot disturbing.
I think so. Like, on the surface, there's nothing wrong with anything that he's saying, but what are you doing in these groups? Why are you there?
Well, I think it's obvious now.
We could get really deep into it and just talk about the enormous presence of search terms on adult websites that are things like stepdaughter or stepdad. That's scary to see how many people are out there searching those things for adult videos.
Yeah, so
it's incredibly alarming.
It's incredibly alarming how so many sick, twisted, freaking individuals walk this planet.
Like, as recently as a week ago, guys. So, I mean, it's not something that he used to do, like I said, prolifically on these groups. So it's Sustinet, if anybody wants to go and look this guy up. And just Reddit posts. There's, like I said, I couldn't find anything disturbing other than
besides the fact,
that he's in these teenager groups, and not all of them are teenager groups, obviously. But
is that why he was working at Disneyland?
Well, there were a few of the messages were, like, oh, well, your mom's, they were almost like grooming.
Yeah.
They seemed like an attempt to groom an adolescent into thinking, no, your feelings are legitimate and right, and the adult in your life is wrong. Let me give you my idea, and let me tell you something that someone that's grooming a young person
Like Judge Fouts.
Yeah, I mean, because I mean, like one of the screenshots you sent was very much like, Weezy, your mom is wrong.
Mhm.
You're, like, so, you're confirming, if someone's grooming a child, they want to like gain the confidence of a child.
Yeah.
Right.
You
You
know,
want to be the one that they're going to come to. You want to be the
right.
trusted person in their life. You want to be their favorite person.
And in that and you're only looking at the public aspect of what's available. That could have very well then been followed up with a DM.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So like those messages that we're seeing, he could have, said something to someone publicly and then sent them a private message. And I'm speculating, of course,
Yeah.
but I'm just gonna assume that someone like this is not gonna stop at public flirting with their depravity.
Mm-hmm. I just, to me, it's a problem. To me, there's a problem with this behavior. And Ivy, I think I said it earlier. I do think that he felt like he was in some kind of sick relationship with this poor little girl. I do. It's sad.
Mr. Electric says, Sonny, I've done referrals from for one-on-one with girls just because of this shit. They need help too. Can't get it because of freaks like this. On there. Ivy says, when my parents would get a babysitter for me and my mom would always drive them home at night so my dad wouldn't be alone with a teen girl at night, even though he'd never do anything like that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, you don't put yourself in a situation to even be, accused of anything. Not that that would go through a normal man's mind, but you know what I mean? What's improper is
it
improper.
kind of needs to, though.
It does in this day and age, but I'm just saying, like, even I think a regular, normal thinking man would understand how improper it would be,
Can I give a story? When I was in high school,
Yeah, tell us.
we had there was the football coach, and this went for he taught health and he taught PE like a lot of football coaches do, and it was not a secret with faculty or students that anyone knew that if you ever were in a situation in high school where if you went to a party or you got into a situation where you did something that you regretted, such as drinking too much, smoking, anything you didn't want to get in trouble for, didn't want your parents to find out about, you could call him and he would get you home safely. He would come get you and he would get you home safely without any repercussions or questions asked. When I think about that, and in high school, I thought that was amazing. I was like, oh my God, this guy is so cool. He's such a good guy. As an adult, even though no one ever made any allegations against him, and I think that his intentions were pure and sincere, looking back at that, I'm like, this was an adult man who gave his phone number to every adolescent child in the high school, and knew that if they were ever in an altered state of mind, they could call him and he would then come and be one-on-one with you. Like, I immediately then I'm like, oh my gosh, predator.
Yeah.
And I think that his intention, I think he was sincere, and I think his intentions were good, because I've never heard anyone say anything otherwise. But no one in their right mind would ever even think to do that now.
Right. Just because the appearance of it is completely inappropriate.
Absolutely.
It truly doesn't matter what the underlying actual intent is, right? You can't be that. You can't be that way anymore.
Right. And it's a different world. That was like, what, 5 years ago?
Yes, I'm sure it was. Yeah, same.
Or 25 years?
I graduated like 2 years ago.
Yeah. No, it was 25 years. I know that.
Did you skip your reunion?
Of course I did.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a loser.
Me too. However, I am a loser.
I'm a loser, baby. That's what they're telling me.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it. It creeped me out. I was like, this guy.
So what else do we have about this case?
That's about. I think we pretty much like given all that we kind of know right now. I mean, bottom line is, poor little girl is dead because of these sick, twisted monsters out there. It's so saddening. Elijah Vu's case is disturbing as well. I don't think that he's going to be found alive. I'm still curious what is happening. Okay, so as for Elijah Vu, there's no new updates out there. Same with oh, why am I forgetting Sebastian?
Well,
Thank you.
Well, but
But
so I don't know if anyone has seen anything with Sebastian today. There have been real no updates. But the police led a very concentrated search earlier today outside of the family's home with bloodhounds. They had tents set up. And I was like, when I was watching it as it was happening, I was getting a little like uncomfortable because I was like, that's not something I really had considered or thought about.
I did just today, as a matter of fact, Adam.
But
this is Sebastian?
Yeah.
Wow.
They did a real concentrated search around the family's home with bloodhounds today. They also what else? I took some notes on what I saw earlier. Let me look real quick. It's been a long day.
Okay. Yeah, because it was just funny because I looked for an update for Sebastian, and they basically said too, like, when it's been like, approximately a week and there's like nothing to be found with this kid, then they start thinking about more of the foul play, like it's an aspect. But anyways, today it just crossed my mind. I was like, bet you the fact.
Yeah, it's day 5. It was, and the weather there today, it was stormy. It's been really cold. And today divers searched waterways in the area, and they did drain a pond in the area today, in addition to searching with the bloodhounds outside of the family home.
Wow.
So
that was my worry. If he got spooked or something, he got too close to the water and it would have been really cold.
Same.
But I mean, you'd think they would have found something by now, anything by now.
Yeah.
5 days for, I'm sorry, Sonny.
Oh, go ahead.
So 5 days for just, a scared runaway. It happened with Scotty Morris. But and those two cases have run parallel to me a little bit. But 5 days like out in the elements for this kid, because it's been really cold in Tennessee and it's been storming really bad. They've had similar weather here today in North Carolina that they're having in Tennessee, and it's been really rainy, stormy, and cold. Like it's 39 degrees here right now.
I'm just going to show this picture quickly. This is the mom, Jen, right? And then there's a piece of shit right there. And then, of course, Madeline. But yeah. So that's where my mind went to today. Like I was saying, I was like, okay, if they haven't got nothing, maybe it's time here that we start looking at the family. I mean, I don't think it's rocket science, right? You kind of think at first that he's missing, wandered off. But come on now. It's kind of gone.
Have the parents come out and done the, regular press conferences and stuff? I haven't been following that one at all.
I don't think I've seen anything about that.
Not seen the parents.
Yeah.
That's a little bit strange, is it not?
I will say though, having bloodhounds outside of the family's home, it could be as simple as just trying to establish a scent, like trying to figure, So I mean, it's not necessarily, not necessarily to indicate they think there was involvement from the family,
but
it could.
But 5 days, why wouldn't they have bloodhounds and dogs and stuff there right away? I don't know.
Maybe they got a new lead. So maybe they found a new way. Maybe they figured, maybe they got a tip that they wanted to follow up on. I don't know. So
5 days with stormy weather and stuff, that's an awful lot of time for scents to be washed away, and unless I don't know.
Yeah, like I don't.
But still, the parents not coming out. That's
and I don't know that they haven't. I just haven't seen anything.
Yeah, like they had a prayer vigil the other day, but I haven't really. Day 5, no sightings. The Walker in the middle of Tennessee. Like, yeah, I haven't really seen anything. I'll have to take a look because I was wondering that myself. Because obviously, it's very sus when if a child's missing and then the parents, you normally give some sort of interview crying because they want their child found and returned and stuff like that. But remember, that biological father is a police officer with the
yes,
same county. Now, and it was
that's the only thing I've seen.
Yeah.
And I agree. And I did the thumbnail for tonight, and I made sure because I of course had to put both Madeline and the POS in the picture, but I made sure they were completely as far apart as I could get them on the picture because I hate seeing them together in the same picture as well.
I know, right?
It's also this was also her reality, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, I understand and I agree that it's obscene, but this was their family unit, and it just shows you that they were just a normal everyday family who maybe the mom was honestly clueless.
I think I have a feeling she was clueless myself. Now, Anne made a comment to Bob that I actually kind of disagree with, because she made a comment like, "Sorry, Anne, I'm just going to kind of go by what I think that you kind of said in that thing was about that basically yet another victim, that she basically blames the parents for not doing their due diligence. I think it was. Let me ask. Oh, here it is.
Before we kind of got into this stuff.
Sorry, this is another instance of parental failure to protect their child. It's not a matter of what they knew; it's a matter of what they should know.
I can see that point.
I mean, he doesn't have a criminal record,
right?
What is she supposed to look at? Because this is could be like that total Jekyll and Hyde thing. So
no, I see both sides of it very clearly. Yeah.
Well, tell me about the side then that agrees with that, and tell me about the side that would not agree with that.
As far as like someone, it's very easy, almost like an Asha Huerman, it can be easy to be like, well, how do you not know your husband's killing Asha, sorry. Asa. Killing multiple people and and all of these things happening, but then we don't know the reality of the situation. So I mean, how did this guy have access to this little girl to the point where he could be doing this? Where was the mom when he killed her? Right. I'm like, and I'm not blaming her because I'm like, I don't think the mom was actively involved from the information I have at this point. But I do get that, and I'm sure no one at this point is going to be asking themselves the question that Anne said, more so than the mom at this point.
And sometimes we just don't know. I told everybody about my history there the other night, and like this man that I married, he was my first boyfriend ever. We don't know what her situation is. Like, I had nothing to even suspect because we grew up together, right? Like, we have no idea what their history was or where they really met or how well she knew him. We do know that he doesn't have a criminal record.
And
maybe she should have been looking over his shoulder when he was posting in teen groups, but maybe she wouldn't have a problem with it because he wasn't being inappropriate other than being in teen groups.
Of course, the blame is not hers, but like, if I think about the fact that, he's been in her life for a long time, that can, of course, lower your suspicions I would assume as a parent, because, I mean, if this guy was around this little girl when she was 9 or 10 years old, you're not going to then think that, this is going to happen 5 years later. Or let me use my situation. I have access to my niece one-on-one anytime, you know, yeah, there's no indication I'm a bad person or no indication I would do something bad to someone. But would anyone really know that? No, they wouldn't. You know,
Not even your sister. Like
and
this
that's
is.
the I mean, I can and that's my point is where I can see both sides. Whereas I feel like when one point I can look at it and be like, well, yeah, you should be able to know that or figure it out. But then when I think about it, I'm like, yeah, I can also see where you wouldn't.
And hindsight is 2020. Let me tell you, hindsight is 2020. You don't know what you don't know. You don't know what you don't. You're not exposed to something, so you don't know what these red flags might be with somebody that you grew up with or somebody that you think you know so well.
The same as you never think your husband's going to kill you.
Correct. Or staying there even if you think maybe he will kill you.
We don't know if there was signs in this relationship to the mother. The daughter, from what it seems like, this was an ongoing thing. And if the daughter's not saying something and whatever, like I said, we don't know the signs. I personally, like I said, for the most part, if someone has no signs, in a sense, like just going based off that, they're not. Who the fuck is gonna know? Like seriously.
Yeah.
Like if there's no, because this stuff happens all the time. So I literally, unless I absolutely knew the facts of this mother, and if she knew that he was like looking at kiddie porn, which I doubt, and stuff like that. Again, there was really no signs unless the daughter showed signs that she was acting weird around him and give her clues, and she just dismissed them, type of thing. But we don't know that. But so with this one, like I said, you would have to kind of know more about the mother, and if there was any telltale signs. And 2020 is always great to look back at. And unfortunately for this is too late. I'm sure she's looking back now and going,
yeah. I will say one benefit I think that we have to living in 2024 is that, whereas the same kind of things have happened throughout history, but there's been so much exposure, and I mean so much lately, especially with dangerous people having access to children. People are a lot more likely to question that now than they would have been 20 years ago.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I'm not, like I said, because someone that, like met someone started dating 20 years ago and they didn't hear about these things on the news or on social media all the time, they wouldn't think about it as much. Hopefully now they know to ask those questions. They know to look for the signs.
That's just it, Adam, is that, like I was making my point earlier, I could go out and do a survey right now and no one would have a freaking clue about predators around them or anything like that. Not something they are thinking about or even are thinking to ask, So if they were more in tune with true crime and predators and that going on, it might make them have more of these talks with their children, but most people are just clueless to this stuff going on. And again, if they're not aware of it, they're not even thinking, because they're, like I said, living with someone who's like a total Jekyll and Hyde. And
sometimes they don't even know to look.
Right.
Sometimes they don't even know to look what's out there in the area because they don't think this stuff happens as often as it really does.
Exactly. And sadly, it's true. Like for me, it's like I said, here, knowing I know that Canada is way smaller than the US for number wise, but it's one of those things that honestly you don't know who somebody is really sometimes at all. Like I said, your next door neighbor could be your SK serial killer over there and you have no clue or whatever, or be your next freaking child predator person that freaking sitting there at home right now watching sea porn and stuff like that. But it's kind of one of those things. Like I said, I know that the numbers are, quite different in Canada, but it's just, well, I can't remember my point that I had for that, but it's just staggering to me how many people are unaware of really what's around them, or even just clueless about the whole, like I said, no idea.
But hopefully now, hopefully in this day and age, people have more of a reason to look for those signs and to look out for those things.
Yeah.
Of course, you're never going to catch everything, but hopefully people have the idea to be aware at least.
Now, Audrey Cunningham's case to me was a clear failure.
Yeah, that's a failure.
That's a failure right there.
Different situation.
Yeah.
There's a saying that all laws and most experiences are written in blood. So it's kind of morbid to think, but we only learn from other people's experiences if we're astute enough to pay attention to that. You know, we very rarely learn from our own mistakes, you know, the first time around. But, you know, we learn from watching what other people are going through. And because of social media and, you know, how popular, I guess, true crime has become, I think more parents do know that they have than ever have before, that they need to look out for this stuff, but still it's not enough.
Yeah. You know, it kind of in a way, it makes me want to do a video, kind of like the Don't Fuck with Trails. And then I showed a bunch of video clips of people that have been attacked or lost their lives on trails. And that was only a small portion. But the point is like here, this channel can do, and any other channel, is bring awareness. The more that people see something, the more they're like, oh shit, really? You know what I mean? The more they understand that 100%. They might not. Yeah. So if they come across like a video, just happenstance that they, whatever, it's in their right hand column, they click on it, you know, maybe like said the Don't Fuck with Trails one. And then it makes that person start thinking now, oh, fuck, I walk on trails. Watch your mouth, Sonny, by the way. I don't sing the word fuck a lot today. I hate dealing with pieces of shits like this. It makes me swear more. I swear to God. But anyways, so again, I'm just hoping that even like or I should say our little part in all this is just to bring awareness to cases. And the more that true crime does grow, which it's growing, and is that it brings awareness to these people that are just absolutely clueless about jogging alone, or, you know, and all these things. And everyone does this thing. It's not going to happen to me. It's not going to happen to me. You know,
attitudes are changing. Has anybody in the States watched the show called Nice Picture, Lovely Life, or Good Picture, Lovely Life? I think it is. It's a really good one, but it's about like a grandfather.
Like a Netflix thing or what? YouTube thing?
It's on
Prime,
or maybe Paramount or HBO, but USA.
And sorry, what's it called again, Charmaine?
Good Picture or Nice Picture, Lovely Life.
Okay.
Either Good Picture or Nice Picture, Lovely Life. It's a grandfather who was a predator, a child predator, who abused many girls growing up, including his own daughter. And then the mom, you know, one of her daughters was left exposed to this man and was abused, obviously, when the mom probably should have known better. But it just really illustrates the attitudes towards it back when he was a young chiropractor in his town, abusing these young girls. Parents knew, you know, his own daughter knew, and he was left alone with his granddaughter. And it's not until now, present day, where that adult daughter is kind of saying, Mom, well, why? Like, well, and trying to listen to the mom kind of almost explain herself is fascinating.
Yeah. I don't have this is on TV, HBO.
Yeah.
Okay. I'd have to
It would be like a Crave or something like that. I'll see if I can find it. I'm surprised more people haven't watched it, because I searched. That's why I originally got my VPN to watch that show.
Oh, is that why you got it? Yeah.
I think it's Nice Picture.
Was that the other day when you were like, I love the VPN?
Did it just come out?
Yes.
Is it on Max? You said it's on Max?
I don't know what any of that is.
HBO
I'm gonna
Max.
put HBO. Well, I got it through Crave, so I'm gonna post that link in here.
No, I don't know what Crave is.
Crave is just, I don't know, something where I am able to get to HBO. I don't know.
And
Well,
whenever
I have HBO though, so if it's on HBO, I can watch it there.
Yeah. So great photo, lovely life. I was wrong on both of them. Great photo, lovely life.
lovely life. Okay, thank you for dropping that,
Granted,
Shami.
I'm in the middle of watching the octopus murders. So.
Octopus murders?
Oh yeah, it's good.
That's interesting.
It's more of like a U.S. conspiracy thing with like the DOJ and like murder. A journalist got murdered.
Oh wow. What happened with Ferenczi? Was his murderer's trial not supposed to start here?
I'm not sure actually.
Greg Ferenczi?
Yeah. You're like speaking of conspiracies.
No, it's not a conspiracy. That's real life, man.
Tomorrow, you guys, just a reminder, tomorrow Charmaine and I will be doing a live on these 6 Pickering boys that disappeared back in 1995. And so basically the story, kind of just a little bit behind it, is that that they disappeared, that they stole a boat, and they just assumed that they died of hypothermia, but they never found any of the bodies in the water. They didn't find any vessel. They didn't find nothing. So this case is still, in a sense, open. Sherman, I haven't looked at that video you sent me yet, though.
March 4th, 2024. What did I send you? So that's just in a few days. So March 4th, 2024, Greg Ferenczi's jury trial is set to begin. Apparently.
There you
go.
Hey, and today was sorry, I don't want to change the subject. So you're talking about the Pickerton murders.
I was. Then Charmaine jumped in and said that. So I don't know. That's why I was kind of lost.
I didn't send you videos. I sent you a bunch of pictures, like of the gas can and the boats and stuff like that.
I thought one of them was a video that you sent me.
No, the links. No, the link is a story. And then I sent you a document that I typed up, just like a synopsis, because you know how you do like an intro video or whatever? I just did
I
a quick.
only do that sometimes.
Well, I did it so that if you wanted to use it, you can. It's just kind of a quick overview.
Yeah, I'll look at it in just a bit for that. We haven't determined what time. We'll probably what time do you think we'll do that tomorrow, Charmaine? What time? What's your preference? Because my preference, like, meaning when I say that, I don't want it to be too late because I need to go with husband, I think, tomorrow to grab few things from Walmart. So my time is 1 hour different. So what time in the afternoon do you feel
It sounds like you have plans tomorrow, so you tell me those, and then because I don't.
Mine's in the evening, though. That's in the evening.
I'm open all day. My grocery store is 2 minutes from my house, Sonny. It doesn't matter. You pick a time and I'll make it work.
Okay. Let's see here. Let's say 2 o'clock your time, 1 o'clock my time.
Okay.
Okay. So that's 1 o'clock Pacific. That's 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And of course, 3 o'clock Central for that. Again, that will be about the Pickering boys for that. And Greg Ferenczi, sorry, you said was what?
March the 4th.
March the 4th. Okay.
So it's
That's that cop dude that was killed you're talking about.
Well, he was one of the investigators that was looking into the Odin angle.
Yeah.
He was working with Todd Click and...
Yeah. Can't think of the other. I always forget the other guy's name.
Yeah. But he was shot, apparently.
By a correctional officer.
By a correctional officer. Right. Weird.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I was gonna say we're gonna wrap this up. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say for anyone that not to talk about Delphi, but for anyone that did not hear, Judge Gold did issue an order today denying cameras for the March 18th hearing. That's the only update for Delphi, other than there you go, Lone Pony. No, there will not be cameras. The only other update is that for anyone that follows super close, like I thought about at 9 o'clock this morning, Oh, the depositions are starting right now. So today was the day that the depositions for the contempt hearing. I'm not sure if they finished them today, but they did take place today.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Carroll County Prosecutor's Office in Carroll County. So Jerry Holman was on the list, Ben Rector,
yeah,
a couple other people, but so Mitch Westerman. So I think that they did conduct those depositions, and it'll be interesting to see what takes place.
yeah. Which reminds me, hold on a second.
I gotta tell you, I was absolutely shocked that she's not going to allow cameras at this one.
Were you really?
Okay.
Yeah.
Why, Charmaine?
Glad you can't see my face, but well, for two reasons. For the first reason, I'm totally being sarcastic, but there's a little piece of my conspiracy mind that thought, for sure, at least at the 2:00 one, when she fires them again, she's going to want the cameras there. But I guess you can't do one and not the other. So I understand.
Okay.
I get it.
Is it fair to say, Charmaine, is it fair to say she's in a situation now, whether it's of her own doing or not, that's arguable, but she's damned if she does and she's damned if she doesn't. And the reason is if she denies cameras, she's hiding something.
Right.
If she allows cameras, she's publicly shaming the defense because of her bias. You know that there are people that are going to make those arguments either way.
Absolutely. And the lucky thing is we actually have people that go to these hearings and sit in that courtroom, and I believe their judgment and I believe their recounting of what happened in there. So it really doesn't make a difference to me. But because of her own doing, I think that, yeah, she's in an impossible situation. And to be completely honest with you, if I was the judge in this case in its current state, I would not want cameras anywhere near me. It would be hard pressed for me to allow Frank Meister and Bob Motta in that room. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I would want to shut it down.
They're two people that should never be on camera more than they already are. I'm kidding.
You know, like I would not want this broadcast either. I really wouldn't. Every syllable of every word is going to be scrutinized.
Oh, absolutely. So I was expecting no cameras at all, to be honest.
We'll see, like Ivy says, that's really only an argument if she only allows cameras during hearings where they're arguing misconduct. And Ivy, and here we know she's not allowing cameras, and this hearing is for misconduct.
That's
so
right.
Yeah. I mean, I want
to, fool me once, shame on you. You're never going to see a camera in there again. Never.
I know.
Right.
That's how it feels like.
She's like, Hennessy, put your phone away. You're not allowed to even bring your laptop in this time.
Yeah. You better have paper copies, buddy.
Because remember, she's talked about how someone was recording when they shouldn't have been at the last hearing.
Yeah.
That she allowed cameras up.
Yeah. I mean, I want to see it. We all kind of want to see it, but I expected there to be no cameras.
Yeah.
So, anyway,
I mean, it'll probably be recorded. No, it'll probably be recorded, just not streamed.
No, it won't be recorded. No.
Well, recorded for the sense of their own personal thing, I would think.
No,
well, it's a court reporter, but
not
I'm seeing like a camera in there, not even for news sound bites or whatever. You know how the Canada will actually, I'm talking out of my ass right now. Canada doesn't do that. We're allowed to have sketch artists in the courtroom.
Oh, you're like England.
Yeah.
We are similar to England in a lot of ways that way. The last thing I do want to talk about quickly, only because I was watching it today. You guys, obviously, some of you guys have been watching Russ trial going on.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to say my attitude towards Alex Baldwin has changed. I'll be shocked if he gets any sort of whatever, but I do feel like there's more accountability to him than I originally, meaning as more information comes out, I'm just like, okay, Diana S., who seemed kind of perturbed that I thought that that Baldwin, like it's not his responsibility in a sense. But the more I've watched it, the more I do believe that Alec Baldwin, just like Hannah. I mean, I think it's pretty clear that Hannah, especially with witnesses today, that Hannah was incompetent in her job and didn't do her due diligence that she was supposed to, and that she brought live rounds on the set from another set. So, correct. Typically, when they don't have, like when they're playing with their boo boo boos guns, whatever, right? Their dummy rounds and whatever. But the scene was supposed to be where Alec Baldwin, just kind of pulls the gun out of the holster. He changed it. And everyone that, with guns, even if you don't have guns, whatever, knows that you never point a gun at somebody. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you have even a little toy gun, besides water guns. Okay. Water guns are meant to do that. But to point a gun at somebody. Now, Alec Baldwin did change that scene then and there, where he's like, it's coming out of the holster, and then all of a sudden it was like this. Now, at the end of the day, he pointed a gun at somebody. He is the executive producer. Joel Souza was on the stand today as well. He was the other person. He was the other person that was like shot, right? Like one bullet basically went through her and then into him, and the bullet was inside of him. Um, Watching those poor faces when they're talking, it's like, and you can see it even with Hannah. Like, this was not an intentional, but this was negligence, absolutely. And when they're speaking and their faces are all getting all teary-eyed and stuff like that, because they're reliving that moment, and that's exactly what happens, right? And same with Hannah, as she's listening to it. She's listening to them and she's reliving those moments herself, and she knows, like, I mean, it's definitely clear that she was negligent, beyond negligent, to be honest with you. I think the maximum she can get is like 18 months, but I'm not sure if that's for each charge. I think it was, because some people said it's ×3, ×2. Now, Alec Baldwin, I do feel like the responsibility as well lies on him, because of the fact that that scene wasn't supposed to happen. He changed it. And, I mean, there's people saying that, like, that were professional or experienced armorers or whatever, that were saying like that, it's your job to, like, the actor's got job to look in the gun and make sure that it's like, if it's clear. I think that there was a lot of not due diligence happening on the set, but he changed the scene. He pointed the gun. And yes, it shouldn't have had a live round, but bottom line is, you should never point a gun at somebody ever, unless you intend to use it.
And he said that in his interview with whatever it was, NBC or whatever, that, that's gun safety 101. You never point a weapon at somebody. And he said that. So if he did that, then yikes.
Well, meaning, I mean, that's the only way she got shot, is because, right?
Yeah.
Right? It's because he pulled out the gun. But the thing was, is that so the scene was only to come out of the holster. That was it. That's how it was. And then the older lady that testified at the end there, like, again, it was like, was that part of what was supposed to be filmed and basically part of the film? And she's like, no, that it was changed, like, after lunch. They knew that it was supposed to be just him pulling it out of the holster. That wasn't part of it. And you could see when you were watching that clip, when they showed Alec Baldwin, when they pull out the gun and he's talking, and he's kind of like, okay, let's do it again. And then he would keep pulling out his holster. And then all of a sudden he's like, okay, let me do this. And then he changed the scene. So to me, that, again, because he changed the scene, it's kind of like one of those things. Bottom line is, you don't point a gun at somebody. And so he didn't do his due diligence and safety at all either. So I kind of find them both. I want to see Hannah just a tad bit more than Alec Baldwin. But because Hannah is the one that actually brought the live rounds from another set. And then because of that, and typically, again, bottom, like typically they should be able to have their guns and do their thing and not expect a live round to be in there. So I feel like the blame goes on both of them, to be honest with you. So, but will Alec Baldwin do any time? I don't know. I don't see it. Usually, well, I don't know. Sometimes in the celebrity circles, the A-listers, sometimes we see them do jail time and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't know anymore, actually. I'm not sure what I feel about that. I feel like that, doing jail time, whatever. I feel like the only way to probably give payback in a sense, and this is a pathetic way of saying it, is that money, that her family deserves money, whether they start an organization with that money. Because, yeah, okay, jail time, he's going to do shit all if he even does jail time. So to me, the next best way is that, you know, maybe create a memorial of some sort for, oh shit, how do I say her name? How do you say her name? Hannah. I keep getting Hannah because her name is H as well. You guys say it for me.
I don't know.
Okay, hold on a second. I can't believe I actually just can't remember that. Breast film killed Helena. Helena. That's it. But I think it's because we keep saying it Helena, but I think the guy was pronouncing it Helene, or he said it differently, and I kept saying Helena. But anyway, so Helena Hutchins is the one that was killed on that thing. So, anyways, I don't know who's been following that. Did he pull well, according to him, of course, he didn't pull the trigger. I think he just said he cocked it back. Is that right, Charmaine? Wasn't it that he just said he cocked it?
Yeah, he pulled the cock back and he didn't click it back, so it wasn't that he didn't have to pull the trigger to release it. He just moved his thumb and it slapped back.
Right.
Yeah.
But some experts are saying that wouldn't be enough force to fire.
Right. I think he pulled the trigger and just, kind of, you know what I mean? Like when you look at the little pin there, on the revolver, there's not a lot of space for your hand to go behind it, your finger. I just think that is kind of one of those things that he didn't, in his brain, he probably didn't think he did. But I mean, if the experts say, well, look, I mean, it really can't go off this way. Now that one lady that was on the stand, because there's definitely a lot of like civil lawsuits going on here that a lot of these people have, like the one set medic and that older lady that was on there, because they had to say, like, are you doing this for benefit to your civil lawsuit type of thing? And they're just basically, of course, like, no, this is, basically they're just being truthful and honest of what they recall, their recollection or whatever. But I'm going to say to the guy, pulled the trigger. But the one that was on the set, because there was 2 misfires already previous to that. And then the one lady that was speaking said, like, she said something like, I pulled I don't know if it was the hammer back or whatever. And then it slipped, and then my finger slipped, and then like there was a blank in there, but it still made that sound, but it hers wasn't a live round. But bottom line is, so she kind of make that comment. Anyways, I think that he did, and probably in his brain, he's like, how something happens so fast. You're like, I didn't, like something falls over. It's like, I didn't touch it. I didn't do anything. I didn't touch, I feel like that's kind of what it is. But anyways, apparently his trial starts like in July for his. But anyway, I just want to say that my attitude on Alec Baldwin has changed a bit, because I do feel like, even that there wasn't supposed to be a live round in there. You don't point a gun at somebody, and he changed the scene. The scene wasn't supposed to involve what happened there on there. But anyways, I think you got Adam going, I love Mardi Gras. Woohoo! Go have it. Anyways, that's all I had to say. Did you guys have anything else to say before we head off?
Not that I can think of.
You always say that almost every time. Are you sure?
I usually just say everything that I want to
do already.
That
No
I want to
last minute anything.
Well, I'm not gonna. I'm not good for it because I'm willing. I would be willing to give up my dignity for like a 5-cent pair of beads any day of the week. Well, I'd be like, what body part do you need to see?
Yeah. And Charmaine, well, you know what the problem is that she's probably, hold on. She's so caught off by her. Did your dog stop farting?
Yeah, he's over at the other end of the basement now.
What did you give him to eat that was causing your dog to fart like that? Or does he normally?
Sometimes he just does.
Yes, stink, don't they? Yeah.
She probably feeds him takeout just like she eats.
Hey,
I mean, I did give him a little bite, but I mean, it's disgusting. I can't even describe it to you.
Charmaine's like, well, we split chicken wings and some poutine, and I don't know why he's farting.
Yeah, go figure. But no,
Okay.
I don't know what's wrong with it today.
Here's our smart ass right here, Jeff. Hey, Jeff. You know what the funny thing is, Jeff? I've thought about you multiple times, but I haven't messaged you. But I've thought about you. Does that count? Yeah. Because you know how you go on with some people? It's like, for instance, like Alexa, for instance, right? It's
We even talked about Koberger the other day. Where was Jeff? Not here.
Yeah, not here. Maybe he was. Maybe
wasn't.
like some, they just lurk, but they don't say anything. You know.
No,
Lurker?
no,
Yeah.
Jeff owes us a thumbnail.
Yeah, he owes us a thumbnail. Yeah. For what case?
Whatever one we want him.
He's done Delphi.
Whatever one Mama says to make one for.
Anyways, nice to see you, buddy. So don't forget tomorrow at 1:00 PST, 2:00 Mountain Time, 3:00 Central Time, 4:00 Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be doing the Canadian live with the 6 Pickering boys that disappeared. And there, all dreaded thumbnail.
Better be a good one too.
He makes great thumbnails.
He does. That's
why he's doing a thumbnail for tomorrow. What?
Pardon? No.
I missed that. Sorry, I was busy.
No,
texting.
yeah, it's fine. That's fine, Charmaine. That's okay. But no, basically, Adam's saying that Jeff owes us a thumbnail. Like it's about that time now. But he does us because Jeff has made a thumbnail for me for Delphi and Idaho.
And he does great ones.
Yeah, he
so
does.
Why
Really.
would we do one for Canadian True Crime tomorrow?
Because he doesn't have time like that for us. He's too busy right now.
Well, you never know unless you ask.
Jeff doesn't know anything about Canadians.
Yeah.
He clearly doesn't know how to pleasure them, or he would be
Maybe
often.
Maybe if we know the case we're talking about ahead of time, I'll be like, Jeff, do me up a wicked Canadian thumbnail.
We do. It's clear we do, and we're asking him right now. So.
Yeah. That if you could just have it to me by 9 a.m. tomorrow, Jeff, that would be great. On the 6 Pickering boys in Ontario, Canada, that disappeared. Okay, I'm just gonna drop that out there, right?
Yeah.
Or I could just be blunt and say, Jeff, get off this live and go make me a freaking thumbnail.
What am I? An AI?
What am I? AI? Yes. If that's what you want to hear, that's what we're going to tell you.
Speaking of AI, are you going to join us tomorrow, Adam? Aspen?
No.
How's that speaking of AI?
Yeah. Right.
That they're smart and stuff. Like
No. Don't ruin it for us.
I never use AI. I don't know how to use AI.
Adam, do your thing and say that you might be there, because we know that.
I can't. I can make no commitments. That I'll try, because that case is very interesting. Considering I was in high school. Well, I started high school in 1995, so it's interesting to me that they've been missing since I was the age that they closed.
Yeah, 1995.
Yeah.
My husband was 5 years old at that time. Okay. Yeah. Huh, right.
It's vanished into thin air, like quite literally.
Yeah. Were they all guys?
Yes. Boys. Yeah.
17 and 18 years old, just gone.
Yeah.
See, I was 13, but yeah. Wow.
Yeah, gone. Yeah. Anyways, so we're doing that tomorrow. You can bet your bottom dollar Adam won't show up. It's a trend. He can't ruin it now. You just can't
It's
ruin
just,
it.
it'd be nice to have the support. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, you have the support, dear.
We got our bras, Charmaine. We got all support we need.
You should know me well enough to know the best support I could ever offer you is support you never even know I offer you.
Yeah. Wow. mine fucked right there.
What does that mean?
And yeah, I thanks team. Good night. Wait, so before we go, you guys, thank you to Charmaine for the 5 memberships that people got. Thank you to Diana S, and thank you to Gilherd for the 2. Was it 2 or 3?
3.
I think it was okay. 3 memberships from Gilherd, and then there was a $10 super chat from Gilherd.
And Diana did a membership.
Did you miss it when I said that? Just a second ago.
I
You
did.
did. Okay. But you know what? Diana probably wants to hear her name again. So Diana, thank you very much. Jeff, thank you for the non-support. I don't really see any chicken money coming through, to be honest with you, even though I'm kind of sick of Popeye's chicken. I'm kind of sick of chicken in general, actually. Oh, I should tell you about the chicken we had for dinner tonight, but I won't. Freaking big. Tasted like shit, but it was big. Like the outside it was from Costco. It was like tiki shit. Oh my God. It was like shit. It was like even my husband couldn't stand it. But once you got down to the actual chicken, hey, when I see that these chicken breasts or whatever, like they were huge. They were like freaking massive. Because my husband's like, how long do I put it in for? And I said about 25 minutes chicken. Oh, then he brings me them and he shows me them, because they look smaller in the package. But anyways, once they were on the tray, I was like, holy shit, those are almost as big as my own darn boobs, those things. And then anyways, so I'm like, oh yeah, definitely longer. Those are more like 35 freaking minutes. Oh, wow.
So you had those pumped full of steroids.
Jeff's giving us just a fake $1.13.
So Monday, so we'll be back Monday night. I would assume Monday, hopefully there'll be an update on Elijah. Hopefully we'll have an update on Sebastian. If Sebastian's still gone Monday night, that sadly I have higher hopes that a Sebastian's going to be found safe than I do Elijah, just given the circumstances of the cases. But by Monday night, I would hope that we have an update on both of those cases, and who knows if we'll have an update on Delphi or whatever else.
So, but if there's an update on Sebastian or Elijah, are you going to go live tomorrow or like whenever that update comes out, or are you just going to hold off till?
It was depending.
Yeah. If there's an update, like if there's an actual, if I wasn't so freaking tired today and lazy ass because I wanted to sleep, I probably would have been doing a live on the whole Madeline Soto as they were doing the search helicopter and stuff like that. I woke up to all this freaking messages about it, and I was like, anyways.
Charmaine and I said you're welcome.
To me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we put in a lot of work today behind the scenes.
You did. I mean,
we do every day, really.
It was almost like, wait, hold on.
Considering we both work full time, I think it's pretty impressive.
Right, and she's the one sleeping.
I know.
What'd you say?
Charmaine said we put in a lot of work every day, and I said, and she's the one sleeping.
Yeah, not gonna lie, I was just enjoying it. It's because I'm a night owl, and I watch things till like 3-4 o'clock in the morning.
You need to get yourself on that daytime schedule where these cases are happening.
I know, but then it's just me by myself. I can do them, but Charmaine's like, I'm at work. I'll be there in spirit. Adam's like a babysitter. I'm at work, but here's some info.
Every bit helps, right?
Yeah.
Just so I'm right, Pacific time, is that you, Sunny? So tomorrow
I'm Pacific, yeah.
So 1 o'clock.
So you're technically mountain time, Charmaine?
Yeah, Charmaine's mountain. Yeah. There's like freaking
Jeff, thank you so much.
Yeah, Jeff. Fuck 13. Woo. Yeah, Jeff, thank you for that. That's not even like a bite of the chicken for Popeyes, Jeff.
If you save that $1.13, that will buy you any size McDonald's drink in the summer months.
That's American. So you can probably get a Costco hot dog for that in Canada.
Oh, you know what, Jeff? If I actually put in like 37 cents, you're right. Wait, you're right, Adam. That's American. So that's probably about a good $1.20, right? So if I add 30 more cents and I don't go to Costco because that was like torture, then I could, yeah. But the hot dog, $1.50. Can't beat that.
And, I mean, and if you just have the one, you can probably hold it in your hand or just put it between.
Yeah, right. Anyways, thank you, Jeff, Mr. Comedian. All right, guys. You know, I keep telling Jeff I want to do a live with him, and I honestly, it's been like a lot of different cases going on, but I want to do an Idaho one with Jeff, to bring us up to speed on, like, at least bring me up to speed because I'm pretty far behind the speed of the Goldberger case. I mean, like, I know.
What do you want to know? May 14th is the next hearing, and then September 6th is the discovery deadline.
Yeah.
And both the prosecution and defense both agree no trial this year.
Oh, wait, you're
You're
right,
up
Mark.
to date.
Hey, Adam, Mark's right. YouTube takes 30% of that. So what's 30% of $1 is 70 cents. So yeah. Oh, that was funny. I forgot about
But
that.
McDonald's sells any size drink in the summer months for $1. So with tax, or mind you, you've got PST too and GST.
Yeah,
so
I know,
you've got
right?
13 cents tax. So the $1.13 would have been perfect, but thanks to YouTube taking 30%, you can't even afford a McDonald's.
Yeah, probably cost me more. Let me refund that back to you, actually.
Goodness.
All right, guys, that's it. You guys have a great night. Well, Charmaine and I will see you tomorrow on the Canadian.
I'll see you guys on Monday. If
Yeah.
not tomorrow, you never know.
All right, take care, guys. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, mods. Thank you, everyone in chat watching, and please hit the like button. And oh, you said good night. Okay.
Hey,
Good
Ben,
night,
go to
guys.
Mardi Gras and have fun.
Yeah. Okay, Ben. Wait, isn't he in Australia?
Yeah, he's in Sydney. I said go to Mardi Gras and have fun.
Oh, they have a Mardi Gras in Sydney. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Ben, go have fun. Bye, guys. That's the wrong intro. Why? I've done that twice. Look at Charmaine. She did just as fast as she could find that freaking back button.
And we're still on this stream.
Yeah.
Good
Charmaine's
night,
still-
everyone.
Yeah, good night, everyone. I've done that twice now, Adam.
The world is cold.